марафона. Так, с 30-го, 30-е, 31-го, там один день мы не играли. Так, 30-е, 31-е, 2-й, 3-й, 4-е. Так, сейчас посмотрю, какой день марафона. Так, 1, 2, 3, 4. О, 5-й день. Все отлично. 5-й день. Но опять же в таком же формате. А то YouTube музычку не любит. Вот, меняем немножко стратегию. NL2 играть не будем вообще. Потому что, ну, не прет меня там, короче, играть. Всякие неправильные мувы совершаю. Вот, потом там вообще игроки безбашенные. Я не могу под них подстроиться. Вот, меня все время прет разыгрывать много рук, а это как бы, ну, не стоит так делать, короче говоря. Вот, то есть я не совсем оптимально играю, поэтому решил играть NL4, буду играть, скорее всего, просто 4 стола, вот, потому что больше, не то что не успеваю, просто сейчас хочу именно поиграть со всеми как бы фишками, нюансами, чтобы по красной линии сильно не проседать, и по синей на вскрытие, чтобы тоже было все нормально. Вот, поэтому не будем, короче, много столов брать. 4 стола, я думаю, будет достаточно. Ну и как раз игру можно будет как бы немножко даже, может, прокомментировать, и заодно вот посмотреть можно будет большую игру, которую вчера смотрели, продолжим. Вот, так что усаживайтесь поудобней, ну, кому интересно. Так, столов маловато, конечно, ну, сейчас что-нибудь будем думать, придумывать. Может быть, даже какой-нибудь NL10 тоже возьмем, посмотрим сейчас, если уже совсем вообще нечего будет играть. В общем, будем сейчас что-нибудь придумывать. Но много не будем столов брать, потому что, ну, реально я тут такие ошибки просто делал. Сегодня проанализировал игру. Вот, просто, ну, такие как бы совсем уж очевидные ошибки, и я их просто пропускаю. Ну, я это связываю с тем, что просто, когда много столов, 7-8, бывают какие-то ситуации сложные, где надо подумать, чтобы принять решение, тупо просто не хватает времени. Вот, поэтому много где меня там и заблефовали, и где много я доходил до вскрытия с непонятными руками, там аллы накалировал. В общем, сегодня будем ситуацию немножко исправлять, пытаться. Вот. Ну все, поехали. Удачи нам в катке. Все, пишите, если что, комментарий, делитесь видео, оставляйте лайки. Вопросы, предложения, добавляйтесь, друзья. Все, погнали.
Previously on the big game, the Italian loose cannon has been frustrating the pros all week.
Easy game. He was training with the Shaolin monks in Beijing.
And while some melted down last night,
all right, let's rewind.
I'm reloading.
Phil Hellmuth completely lost it.
What are they doing to me? I mean, these guys are crazy. This game is unbelievable. I can't believe I'm losing. It's just unreal what happens to me.
Фил Хелмет, как всегда, в тильте. Не везет ему на большой игре. Постоянно проигрывает.
As the cannon's journey concludes, right now.
You guys want to gamble with me? Let's play poker.
Welcome once again to the big game from Las Vegas. Alongside Joe Stapleton, I'm Scott Hubb. And tonight we finish up this week's action as some of the best in the world tangle for nearly $1 million on the table in our state-of-the-art poker room.
The businessman Bill Perkins will literally play any two cards. Yesterday he tried to raise with Park Place and a happy birthday from Hallmark.
Phil Locke is here chasing Justin Bonomo's mark for the all-time money lead on the big game. He held it briefly, but has fallen off the pace. He's stuck over 27K.
Elke has walked softly but carried a big baguette. He's quietly, unmaniacally up $32,000.
That shaggy youngster is Italian poker pro Dario Minieri. He spent the end of last session tormenting Phil Hellmuth. He's up 47,000.
Speaking of Hellmuth, he's been having such a frustrating week. The guy hitting the bleep button has developed carpal tunnel. He's stuck almost $40,000.
Tonight's loose cannon Massimiliano Martinez comes to us by way of Rome, Italy. 24-year-old is currently studying economics after concentrating on medicine the past 4 years. Max is up almost 100K for the week, and he's with Amanda.
Max, at the beginning of the week, you said 100K was your goal. You got that. Are you satisfied or are you ready to gamble it up?
Yeah, I'm a little bit satisfied, but I think I can do better probably. I don't know. I want to play, but I'm very, very satisfied.
Are you thinking about that NAPC passport at all right now?
Oh, it's very important. An APT passport is a very big opportunity to play across the USA, so I'll try to get it.
All right, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The loose cannon stakes $100,000. He keeps all money above the initial $100,000, and the loose cannon with the most money at season's end wins this trophy and North American Poker Tour passport worth $50,000.
Well, this is a first.
You can do it. You know, you can do it.
Первый раз задний фон без головы. Аплодируют.
Spoken like a true poker player. He doesn't trust us.
I don't trust it either, but he can't leave even if he wants to, so they have no real reason to try to make him stay. And at the moment, Max is trailing for the NAPT passport by less than 60K, so we'll see how hard he pushes it.
A restraddle. I didn't agree to this. Okay. I can see that we're losing our minds here.
Perkins is losing both his mind and his shirt.
Lock straddled, Perkins re-straddles, action on Max with ace 10.
Uh-oh.
And of course, the Shaolin monk comes to the mat, you know? He loves these moments. Please.
Max raises 5,100, action folds to Elke, who's out.
I don't know. I've given up on the monk. I was gonna. Please. Oh.
Lock with 10-9 of hearts.
Phil's dominated.
Where's the 5?
Calls 4,300.
The restraddle. Oh, sorry. Oh, flash.
Perkins folds.
I love how Max doesn't shy away from these huge pots at all.
4-10 Queen Rainbow, Locke and Martinez both with middle pair.
Jake.
Locke's got kicker problems like the Karate Kid. And Max hasn't given a ton of free cards this week.
He fires 6,100.
A lot of money out there to fold this to one bet, especially when everyone has a pretty good sense of how aggressive Max has been.
Locke makes the call.
String call.
Was stringy dingy.
Turn, deuce of diamonds. Locke checks.
Will Max keep barreling?
He does not, checks it to the river. Queen of diamonds, 2 pair for both.
Changes absolutely nothing.
Locke checks.
This is probably a spot for a value bet, especially knowing how aggressive our cannon's been.
And Martinez bets 25,000 with his 2 pair better kicker.
Very polarizing bet on a hand that's not polarized.
It's called a thin call. I don't normally do these, but I decided a long time ago. The only way to beat these Shaolin monks is to just get some little chunk of something to just hold on, and if they pound you into the ground and they take your satchel and run away into the forest, then you're sitting there with no satchel. That's okay, I've done without a satchel before.
What in the H?
But if my thin little gangly, crackly 1 pair is good, then I took his satchel.
Does this story have a point?
Just keep a coin, keep a coin. Keep a coin, come on.
What's a chip?
Maybe. Getting a coin.
Max can now win an extra 25 grand based on the flip of a coin.
I have a coin, I know.
Okay, I got 1 cent.
Shaolin's got his own coin.
Shaolin, you want to see the Shaolin coin?
Ancient Chinese proverb says, anytime man offers you coin, don't flip, but call instead. Wow, is that parable true? I'm going with the parable.
Locke calls, Max shows the winner.
Ace 10.
You're in the Shaolin value bet.
Shaolin value bet.
Oh, I love that little
He knew the Shaolin parable. He knew to offer the coin because he knew if he offered the coin, I would call. If I could have found a quarter, I would have been 50-50.
So Max jumpstarts his night with a $75,000 pot as we take a look at the rules of the big game. Each table lasts exactly 150 hands. Action pre-flop is pot limit, then no limit after the flop. Lines are 2 and 4 with a $100 ante, all of which is paid by the player on the button. And every player begins with at least $100,000 but can rebuy for up to $500K. Max has registered fairly normal VPIP and PFR percentages and hasn't let this hyper-aggressive table affect him. His solid play continues to pay off as his showdown winnings now exceed $300,000. The loose cannon's profit is now almost $138K, roughly $17,000 behind Gonzo with 39 hands left to play. And all it takes is one of those hands. Action on Dario Minieri. Trade 4. Lets it go. Elke? Guess that's not a good hand.
25 or something?
Actually, Phil, 39 hands left to go. We just done told you.
Lock with ace queen. Raise to 1200. The businessman folds the 10 tray. Max out. Almuth with 10-8 makes the call.
All right.
4 hours ago you would have folded that. You realize there's only 34
I want to
hands
check.
left.
I don't fold this hand that often.
Story checks out, and in the dark.
Tray 5 Jack Rainbow. The poker brat is checked in the dark. It's over to Phil Lock.
Who has the best hand with ace high?
Lock checks. Turns the ace of hearts. Lock hits top pair.
Lock has even more of the best hand now since Phil's drawing dead.
And Helmuth checks. And Lock will check.
Getting a little tricky.
River 7 of hearts. Looks like getting tricky might have worked. Helmuth bets 1600.
That's right. Lock's turn check gets Helmuth to fire the river.
Lock makes the call.
You got it.
I know.
10 high.
10 high? Hey, I got a pair of aces. How's that? You want to see it? I'll show you.
Honestly, you really want me to expose my hand?
Do you have a flush draw or a
You
four?
really want me to
If
expose
you
my
have a
hand?
four, too,
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
Helmuth shows.
Well, if he has a 4 or 2 with it, it's a little different. 10 high flush draw.
Bad etiquette to make the loser expose his hand, Mr. Lock.
Wow. I can't believe a professional made me expose my hand for 1600.
You rushed to show because you know I didn't really care.
You know that's bad etiquette. The young guys don't know that, but you do.
I know, whatever.
Whatever, man. You've changed. You've changed.
It's unbelievable how often you have bad etiquette.
Lots of action on the way from inside Phil Helmuth's glass house. Don't go anywhere, folks. Big game's just getting started.
If I were the loose cannon,
The loose cannon.
If I'm the loose cannon, I want to have a really tight image, and I want to be able to make a few bluffs. But I'm also going to try to put a little pressure on.
I'd try and play straight, crazy, good, solid poker, unless I got, crippled, and then I would probably play the same way, trying to get the money back, I guess.
I would try and play tight for maybe 30 minutes, and then I would just go bananas.
Well, there's a reason most advice is free. Max Martinez doing just fine on his own, up more than 136,000 and trailing Gonzo by about 20,000 for the Season 2 passport.
These guys are second and third behind Season 1 winner Bobby the Bus Ferdinand, who took home over 181K. Max says if he does well, he's going to straighten out the leading tower Pisa.
All right, this is where people start doing stupid things, I think.
You didn't think that started
Again, it's been a great game all day. Don't misunderstand me.
Perkins is straddled for 800. Helmuth with King 10. Calls.
Phil doing what he can to make his own prediction come true.
Dario Minieri, Jack 9. Makes the call. Elke with Jack Trey of hearts. Looks like he wants to play, and he'll call out a small blind.
Helmuth's practically priced in the whole table.
Queen 8 for a lock. And he'll call.
Let me look.
10 deuce for Perkins.
Go, please.
See, this is so sick. I limped with this hand for a specific reason.
I'm sure you're going to tell us,
It's a good trapper hand.
says the man with only one leg.
Jack 4-9 rainbow, 2 pair for Dario.
Elke's flopped top pair, but it's not the best top pair. Dario has top pair with a kicker that's also a pair.
Elke bets 2,200. Lock folds. Over to Perkins.
I'm scared of you. I'm scared of that guy.
Folds.
The guy in the middle. He looks too serious.
Dario looks too serious. He looks like a lost puppy.
Helmuth calls 2,200 with a gut shot and 1 over.
Got shot to the nuts.
Action back on Dario.
The serious guy.
11,000.
I knew it. Saw that face.
That's a serious raise to 11,000 from Minieri.
Great spot for a raise. He can get called by draws and maybe even someone like Elke with top pair.
But Elke folds.
Bill doesn't have a ton of money left behind. He does have 1 over, but this would be a pretty loose call.
It's for a quarter of his stack.
We know Phil's stuck and steaming, which doesn't always lead to the best decisions.
I call.
Hellmuth will make the call with the gut shot.
Hellmuth's really gambling now.
To the turn. Queen of clubs, and this would be a bad time for a snack break. Phil hits his gut shot.
Yahtzee.
Checks.
I like the check by Phil. Dario's pretty likely to keep firing. That queen wasn't a good card for Dario, but he's still pretty likely to think he has the best hand.
He does. Bets 14,700.
Now this would be a pretty good spot for Phil to raise, since Dario's probably got something. And like Michelangelo's David, Phil's got the stone nuts. Phil's been waiting all week to get a piece of Dario. Phil does not have very much left behind.
I raise.
He's going to raise.
We're likely to see it all get in here.
29-9.
And Phil's all in.
I call. How many times do you want to run?
Dario makes the call.
Well, you might be drawing dead, so I'm hoping you're drawing dead. I hope you have
I might be
10.
drawing that. You have 10 king?
Yeah.
Nice call on the chart. On the flop, sorry. I'm not drawing that anyway.
We'll see what you have.
Good call on the flop. As you say, draw everyone. That's the only reason why I say.
Was a pretty ridiculous call on the flop.
Tilt juice. You get a little bit of this tilt juice here.
Yeah.
Dario's taking it pretty well. Look at that smile. He's adorable. Phil might finally have a hand that holds up. Dario looking for a jack or a 9.
They're only going to run it once. River 5 of spades, and Phil will double up.
5 of spades, it's over.
Wish I could call river cards like that.
26. 29-9. 29-9.
Phil, you're up after that hand.
For the first time all week, and he's speechless. I think he might be tearing up a bit.
That hand is so tilty.
And Phil Hellmuth is tilty as charged. See if Dario can get even when the big game continues after this.
I'm not afraid to pull the trigger and make moves. I'm not afraid to make calls. I feel like pretty powerful right now. You never know. This could be the day I cash in 400,000.
Did he say 400,000 or 400,000? Because he's all over the ladder. Only 82,000 more to go.
Well, Phil's positive for the first time this week after doubling through Dario. They reached similar conclusions about what led them down all in alley. Both shared those unique perspectives. We take you behind the poker face.
Yeah, I mean, the game was getting a little bit crazy. I had raised a couple of pots right before that hand came up.
There was a live straddle from Perkins. Loose cannon folds. Would call on the cutoff.
I felt like there's a decent chance I had the best hand, and I'm risking 800 and I'm trying to trap. So I decided to limp with king and 10.
I was on the bottom with jack 9, and I didn't want to get that crazy. So I decided to call. Aki called. Phila called.
Go, please.
Got a decent flop, jack 9-4.
The action was on Aki, which lead out for 2200. Everyone falls to Philamut.
And I called, and Dario made it 11,000. He made a great raise because it made me think he was drawing.
And make it look like a squeeze, which was what I wanted, because I talked to a party only as I was losing against where set.
I started to think he had queen 10 or he had 10-8.
The action is back to Aki, which just falls. And now it's to Philamut.
Well, and normally I would fold that hand 9 times out of 10, but I thought maybe he had a draw and that he was going to check on the turn. So I called.
And I might put him on 10-8 or 10-queen because he called me.
And then boom, a queen pops off, which was gin for me. So I checked.
There was a little chance he has ace jack or king jack, but I didn't think so because he didn't raise on Aki. So I thought the best way was trying to make a bet and figure out something. I bet at 14,000.
It was kind of an easy no-brainer to move all in there.
I raise. 29-9.
The pot was very big, and what was putting him on was ace jack or king jack, small chance. He has queen 10, pretty big favorite. I decided to call. I call. How many times do you want to run?
Well, you might be drawing dead, so.
You have 10 king?
Yeah.
I was wrong because he had king 10.
And now the river was a 5.
5 of spades, it's over.
In that hand I was lucky, obviously. It's Dario, so he can have, I thought he had 10-8.
And that was all my money.
That was a nice, really nice hand to win.
At one point, Super Dario was huge, running around, collecting coins, spitting fireballs. Now King Koopa over there has shrunk him down to his normal size. Bill got super lucky hitting that gut shot. He's not allowed to complain about running bad for the rest of the show.
Phil, you got the sickness a little bit late in the game for a gut shot. You got the sickness a little.
It feels good that the gutter ball didn't get full stack value, huh? That's feels good, almost, right? Pay for the gutter ball, get there. Get the whole stack in on the next card.
See this 10 to 1.
Get the whole stack in on the next card, Elvin. You just did it, kid.
If there's one thing Phil Hellmuth hates, it's a lot of attention.
Martinez folds.
Pot.
Hellmuth raises to 2,000 with the ace-jack. Minieri folds.
Oh, my bad. My hands.
Last time, Phil.
I messed up.
Elke calls 2,000 with 2 nines. And lock is folded. Perkins calls 1,600 with the 6-4.
Okay. Businessman in the business of lighting money on fire.
Flop. Deuce 10-9. Elke flops a set.
Seems a little entranced by it, like he's looking at a double rainbow.
Perkins checks.
Checks a 6 high.
7,000.
Bad time for a C-bet.
Hellmuth bets 7K.
There goes all that profit. A raise in this spot would look pretty strong on this fairly dry board. And again, Elke knows Phil's liable to call with a gut shot. A gut shot.
There's your raise. Elke makes it 19,000. The businessman quickly out.
Phil made a very loose call last hand on the flop. This call would be so loose it needs a pair of suspenders.
Belt and suspenders makes the call.
Wow, Phil's up now. He's not supposed to be making frustration calls anymore.
I check.
And he dark checks, which has worked so well so far. Turn 3 of clubs.
That card's more inconsequential than the entire NBA regular season.
Hellmuth is already checked, so it's on Elke.
No reason to not try to bet this again for value.
Fires 33-3.
Come on.
Phil frustrated, he has to lay down his ace-jack high.
Jack clean, Elke? Good bet, buddy.
Bad bet. You probably would have called for less.
Hellmuth lets it go.
Man, that's a super bluff. Show.
Elke wins a pot worth over 78,000.
All right, Elke, let's play poker, kid. You got me. For the rest of the night. You hit some hands, you're gonna win a lot of money, sir.
Phil is absolutely chowing down on those glasses right now.
Yeah, despite the big win against Dario, Phil is still very tilty.
While Phil's 1.7 aggro factor is the second lowest at the table, he's gotten a lot more aggressive in the last few hands. But given Elke's passive approach this whole week, it was surprising to see him call Gros Pellier's flop raise with ace high and no draw.
Nice job on Gros Pellier. Poker Brass profit was short-lived. He's now down 3,000 overall.
I just noticed Elke's not wearing a shirt under that thing.
Whoa. And Hellmuth in the straddle.
Or he wants to mess with me. Of course he wants to mess with me.
If you're wondering who he is, it's everyone.
Hey, was that a voluntary straddle from Elmo?
Yes.
I love this. It's like, you can never tell where Elmo's brain at. It's like in mid-mode or crazy, but actually has more money, so now it makes more sense.
Dario raises.
I'm tilted. I mean, I lost that money to Elke. I'm just so tilted.
Elke folds over to lock, who lets it go.
I'm gonna get out of it. I did call you with ace-jack high, Elke. You like that?
That was the worst call you put on you, man. You could have that 40 man.
Way to sugarcoat it, Elke.
Action on Martinez, the cannon, with ace-jack.
This guy, he's disappeared.
Stands up 140. Done gambling.
Guys, I think he can hear you. Max has got Dario dominated, but he is out of position.
They'll just call. Hellmuth,
Another set.
still tilting. 10-4.
I know he's defending his straddle, but is Phil even looking at his cards? He's dominated and he's got the good buddy hand. If a chick calls you a good buddy, it's over, brah.
Deuce, king, 6, 3 spades.
No one's got a spade.
Martinez checks. Hellmuth checks.
Dario was the pre-flop aggressor.
And he checks to see if that ace was a spade, and then checks to the turn. 7 of clubs.
Max's ace-jack still the best hand.
He checks.
55.
Hellmuth's going to take a stab. That's 5,500.
Oops.
Dario quickly out.
The loose cannon does not look convinced. Hellmuth continuing that aggression we just mentioned. Wonder if the cannon will tighten up now that he's got a lead and time is running out.
He does, and Hellmuth will take it down with a little bluff.
You're playing a dangerous game, Phil Hellmuth.
So that $14,000 pot puts the poker brat back in Profitville. See if he stays there or heads back to Tilty Town when the big game continues. Welcome back to the PokerStars.com big game. We're on hand 122 of the 150 to be played. There's some tension starting to build as action begins on Dario Minieri.
Yeah, I'm ready to gamble.
Folds the 9 deuce.
You know that.
I'm ready to gamble when you're going dead.
Elke races to 1,300 with king 10. Lock calls quickly with ace 8.
I bet pot.
Perkins pots it
How much?
to 6,400 with the 8-6.
time is running out, so it looks like we're in for some big pots.
Martinez and Helmuth fold. And Elke folds.
Sosi!
Lock makes the call.
We know Locke is Perkins dominated. He knows Perkins could be doing this with only 2 cards.
Queen 3-8, 2 clubs, Locke and Perkins, both with middle pair, but Phil with a stranglehold now with a nut flush drop. That's 10K.
What an insanely good flop for Phil.
Perkins calls.
Phil's donk bet to induce action. Perkins snap calls with middle pair, no kicker. Seems pretty proud of himself.
Turn. 8 of diamonds, both players with trips.
Oh boy, both these guys have monster hands and monster stacks. Things are about to get real in here.
Lock bets 25,000.
Someone get Bill Perkins a blanket because this is a cold deck.
I raise.
He's gonna raise it. There's the 25.
How much will Bill Perkins fire into the abyss?
Raises to 80,000.
Now 140,000 in this pot. Bill Locke with a bit of a knit roll or Hollywood, but he's never folding.
I think I got you beat. I think you, unless you have like ace-8 against or some sick demon.
Well, it's clearly not knit rolling, Joe. I think he's just relishing the moment.
I just, boys and girls at home, if I'm wrong and you're starting to try and you're like play good poker, you think this is the night to like, you know, let's follow still. You always get so stuck. Maybe this is the time to watch a different program.
Can I give him the penny?
This is dirty.
That penny is cursed. I'm gonna make my own decision.
Because he can fold. No way he's gonna call half a stack.
Well, you're right, Bill. He's not calling.
Alright, this is what it looks like when I go all in. I'm all in.
Locks all in.
I call.
Perkins calls.
Good move.
Evil. It was evil. Sorry. You're my friend, so you can take it. You wanna run it twice?
Twice.
Hey, how about 3 times in the first and last count? The middle doesn't count.
Go. Next.
You're gonna run it 3 times.
Over 330K in the middle.
3 times in first and last.
Second river will not count.
Come on, you got me. Possibly and got me.
Perkins needs a 6 for the win. A queen or a tray will chop it.
But it's a 5.
First one's mine. Second one doesn't count, but we need to see what it is anyways. This is me. The 6 comes down. I am super shallow. Yeah.
So this river will not count.
The 6 would be pretty sick.
Nope. Deuce of diamonds. That doesn't spoil any of Perkins' outs.
That one didn't count. Here's the last one that counts. No 6. Don't punish me for this funny business that I did.
You should get punished for all that,
You should get punished for all that stuff.
Save the drama for your mama and deal.
Will he get punished? No. 10 of spades and Phil Locke is going to drag a $335,000 pot.
Good, I'm out.
Alright, buddy.
You got it. Good job. Good job. Okay.
6.
Out there. Bill Perkins dusted off nearly 300 grand this week.
Wow. Wow.
How lucky is Phil Locke? Trips over trips against the businessman.
So after struggling all week long, that massive pot puts Phil Locke up more than 100K right now. He trails the loose cannon, who continues to lead everyone with a profit of almost 134,000.
With 28 hands to go, Max is about 20K behind Gonzalez cannon for the passport, so Gonzo's benchmark is far from safe.
So while that race remains tight, Locke has just leapfrogged Justin Bonomo by a wide margin to become the big game's most profitable player ever with more than 575,000. That's over $500,000. Replacing Bill Perkins in seat 6 is Jason Mercier.
The 24-year-old rising star is from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and has already captured a WSOP bracelet. Jason's making his 5th appearance in the big game and is up over 84,000 overall. Tonight he'll begin with 200K. I know Jason's a fan of the show because he texts me at 3 in the morning if he doesn't like what I have to say.
Action will start on Elke. Ace Jack of Hearts. Raises to 1,300. Lock folds. Welcome to the table with trash for Mercier. Let's go. Cannon out.
Hot.
Compute's positive with the 10-9.
Bill's out of position, but he's not letting that stop him. Aggressive as all get out.
Minieri's already folded. And Compute makes it 4,900.
Elke facing a 3-bet with a big suited ace.
Elke calls.
Helmuth's out of position, but at least he's got the betting lead.
Flop. 4 king, 5, 2 hearts. Elkie with the nut flush draw.
I assume Phil's going to have to continue with this.
7,400.
He does, makes it 7,400.
0% chance Elkie folds.
Given the way Elkie's playing, Joe, what's more likely here, a call or a raise from Elkie?
Well, Elkie won't want to chase away Phil if he's bluffing.
He just calls.
Phil's in pretty bad shape here.
To the turn. 10 of spades. Phil hits a pair. He takes the lead, but Elkie with every out in the deck now. He has a straight draw as well.
Will Phil fire at this again? Looks like yes.
25,600.
That's 25,600.
Elkie's getting way the right price. Factor in implied odds and the fact that he might not even be behind at all, and I think it's super unlikely to see Elkie fold.
I'll take this one out.
Like beeping at a hot girl for your car, I don't know that this tactic has ever worked. Elkie's just got so many outs.
That's a big raise. Elkie's made 122,000 to go.
Are you kidding me?
Don't think he's kidding. Phil's ahead, but if he makes this call, he's coin flipping for a couple $100 grand. He's just about to snap through those glasses.
Elmuse lays it down, and the aggressive semi-bluff will work for Elkie.
You can show one. You can see one.
This one. This is the one.
Rock flips over the ace.
Oh, ace 3 of hearts.
Better than that.
Ace jack of hearts.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, you put on that,
Severe lack of leads there. Serenity now.
That's Elkie 2, Elmuse nothing. See if Elkie continues to own the poker brat when the big game returns right after this. Welcome back to Las Vegas, where Gonzalez and our leading loose cannon is watching things unfold from backstage.
You know, I have a pretty decent number of guys on my heels. I mean, he has a huge profit, which is very good for him. I want all of these cannons to profit. I just don't want him to ask me. Is that too much? Is that too much to ask?
Gonzo still leads the Italian Massimiliano Martinez for the NAPT passport by $22,000.
That passport is worth an extra $50,000. Max has still got some time, but it looks like this race is coming down to the wire.
Action will start here on Phil Lock, the Unabomber. Queen 4. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to.
Mercier folds.
What in the hell is going on here?
Martinez. Jack Deuce. Folds.
Alright, I thought.
Homie pots it.
Good head, Elkie.
Thank you, Phil.
Race to 2,000 with ace 3. Minieri out.
I wish we could play for a couple more hours, but I want to gamble.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Elkie calls, and these two going at it again. Deuce, ace, jack, couple of spades. Elkie bluffs another flush draw.
If Elkie eventually cashes his spade, we could have level 4 Ultimo tilt.
Elkie bets 2,700.
600.
Phil raises to 6K.
Phil's frustratedly bloating this pot. Sure, he's ahead, but he could also be dominated.
No show.
Elkie makes the call. Turn deuce of hearts.
Elkie missed. Helmuth's playing the jack kicker now.
Elkie checks. And Elkie checks behind.
Slows down.
River. Tray of spades. Elkie makes his flush.
Oh boy, Phil's hand gets exactly 1 pip bigger.
Опять
Elkie's
Фил
hand is
везет.
now basically the nuts.
Elkie fires.
Call.
No calls. Elkie wins.
Here it comes. Oh, he's only freaking out on the inside.
Elkie will drag a pot worth 30,000.
Nice, huh?
There it is.
Okay, he's nice. He's suspected nice.
It's quite nice.
He confirms.
We.
Just a few hands to go. Phil was positive for the first time all week, but he seems to be becoming unglued at the moment.
Unfortunately, it's been a familiar story for Helmuth during his 6 stints on the big game. He's landed in the poorhouse every time out, except from the 93.5 profit he turned on his 5th table. Phil's currently stuck over 50K for this week.
Helmuth has dropped 342,000 overall, and if he doesn't pull himself together, the wheels may fall off once again.
The wheels, the axles, the bucket seats, the steering wheel, the dashboard, the radio, the seat belts,
Bet 4 for Dario.
the carburetor,
Folds.
the tailpipe.
Elkie folds. Rock with the jack tray. Let's go.
The windshield.
Mercier, let's go. 10-5 for Martinez.
The dice hanging from the mirror. Alright, I'm done.
Calls 200.
Raise 4.
Helmut then raises to 800.
Annoying little back raise. Awesome if Max just folded and made him look like a jerk.
Martinez calls.
At a table full of Nemesis, Phil is now heads up with one of them.
Flop. 4, 10, 9, 2 clubs. Cannon flops top pair. Checks it. Helmut with middle pair out of flush draw.
Helmut's the favorite, but he has the worst hand.
16.
That's 1600.
Don't think Max is going anywhere with top pair against Phil's spew mute. Where be hell spew?
Martinez raises to 5100.
I want to raise it up.
Things are getting heated in a hurry.
Phil puts out enough to call, but he'll contemplate his raise amount.
Phil taking his sweet time figuring out how much to make it.
Still waiting on Phil.
All in.
Cannon's all in.
You're all in? Okay.
Apparently Max was tired of waiting.
And he flips up his hand.
Helmut's ready to gamble.
How many times do you want now?
One time's good.
Only one?
Helmut is a man. He's doing travels and doing it one time, and he's...
One time's good.
Take an insurance card. Your choice or mine?
One time's good, I said.
Okay.
How many times are they running it?
One time.
Helmut is the slight favorite. His outs are practically running off the screen.
Huge moment for Max. His hand holds up. He'll grab the lead from Gonzo for the NAPT passport.
Gonzo and Phil both rooting for a club.
5 of diamonds, 2 pair for Max.
Not a great card for Phil. It kills one of his club outs. Max hits the 5 of clubs. He'll make a full house.
Very nice 5. 5? Oh, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. It's burnout. It's burnout.
Rubbing salt in the wounds.
Oh, don't do this, please. I don't want to send. If you don't see, I don't want to send.
Max is awfully cocky.
And if Phil doesn't hit one of his outs, the big game will send him home broke again. 6 of spades. And Max takes the passport lead.
I got it, man.
Yeah, you got it. All right. Well played, bro.
Thank you. GG, Phil.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Max now leads Gonzo by over 10K.
Kid, guess what? You're probably going to have that APT package now.
Gonzo looks down, but it ain't over yet. Still a chance for Max to blow it.
Well, Max has been aggressive and unpredictable. Let's see whether he's willing to risk the loose cannon lead.
One thing we know about this loose cannon, he don't play scared.
Wow. I can't believe it. I win a flip against the poker bra. Come on.
Welcome back to the big game as Phil Helmuth is still steaming after that swift exit.
It's been a very frustrating run for me. To take all these beats that I've taken over the stretch of 6 big game shows, it's frustrating. The loose cannon is probably a really bad player, and I think he pushed it well beyond the boundaries of luck. Now, he's supposed to fall off a cliff that somebody built him a bridge. I really, truly don't think that he knows what he's doing.
With all the money he's won tonight, Max can probably afford to have his own bridge built and dedicated to Phil.
Well, after busting Helmuth, Massimiliano Martinez from Italy is just overtaking Gonzalez Cannon for the NAPT passport lead and now leads by 11K.
With only a few hands ago, Max has the lead wrapped up as long as he doesn't do anything crazy.
Meanwhile, Antonio Esfandiari is here for a hit and run.
Antonio moved from Iran to California at age 9, picked up a WSOP bracelet at 26, and is making his 4th big game appearance at 33. He's down more than 264,000 overall and begins tonight with 200K.
I've never worn a sports jacket.
You look good.
Well, I didn't think I was going to get seen, so I dressed up to go out. I was hanging out. I was out and about, and I get a call. Dario's stuck, Alky's winning.
Max is doing the shallow and comes to water.
I wish Max was stuck. That'd be a lot more fun.
It's still pretty fun, though, with just a few hands left and a profit in front of him. I expect your boy Phil Locke to rock up.
Elke folds over to Locke, who also folds. Mercier out. Cannon on the button. 7-5 diamonds.
You're not just like a fish loose cannon. You're like an online wizard professional. That one, right?
He hasn't admitted
is he a
anything.
wizard?
We think he studied with the Chinese.
Seems to be sticking to a same old aggressive game, even with that passport to protect.
Raises to 1,300. 9-8 for Esfandiari. Folds. Minieri. Ace 4 of hearts.
respect.
Races to 4,700.
I'd assume Max's button range would have gotten tighter, but Dario's made a good read on his Python. Now let's see how crazy Max really is.
Not that crazy. Let's go. Dario will take down a small pot pre-flop.
Cannon tried to take advantage of his position and his image, but it was a little well-timed aggression on Dario's part that won him that pot.
Jeez.
I hope Max brought enough gum for the rest of us. In English, please.
So this fooled everybody committed.
That's a terrible word.
Fold. Well, Gonzo doesn't mind seeing Max still playing. He's with Amanda.
What's going through your mind?
I just hope he gets involved in the hand and loses a little bit. I don't want him to get stacked.
Right.
Take the
Because
profit.
you don't hate him. You
I
just
don't
don't
hate
want him to win.
I'm just playing hate on his NAPT lockup he has right now. But it's not over yet, though, you know.
We will watch together. Me and you.
Yes.
Gonzo thinks he's talking to Tanya Harding. Every time I see her in that dress, I expect her to do a triple Lutz.
Ace 4 for Martinez. Folds. Esfandiari. With Big Slick.
That's his nickname at the club. Welcome to the game, Big Slick.
Raises to 1,100. Dario out over to Elke. Folds.
Wow, I never thought in a million years that would happen. Ever. I get aces and boom, they just both fold. So simple.
You know, I'm never defending out of position.
Lock folds to Queen 5. Mercier with Ace Jack.
Correct. Well, now I did it a lot, huh? I thought I got like 67 so far.
Speaking of defending out of position, that's exactly what Jason just did, and he's dominated.
Ace 9-9, 2 hearts. Both Esfandiari and Mercier have paired their ace.
Bit of a cold deck.
Mercier checks. Antonio bets 2,100.
Jason's ahead of most of Antonio's range, especially since he can be c-betting with nothing.
And he does make the call.
However, as it stands, Jason's in pretty bad shape.
Turn. Jack of hearts not anymore. Mercier takes a huge lead now with 2 pair.
This kid runs like Jason Mercier.
And he checks it.
So there is a potential flush out there now. Will Antonio keep firing?
He didn't like it. He checks.
Wisely slows down.
River 10 of diamonds.
Jason's still with the best hand.
Checks again.
Jason's checked to him on the last 2 streets, so Antonio may feel like he can value that now.
Looks like he does. Going for chips. And bets 7,400.
Odd size bet, pretty big.
He has king queen. Big bet. Who's gonna
Call?
You might win.
He will. Shows him the 2 pair.
Nice answer.
Nice.
Mercier takes down a pot worth 22K.
Felt like you were gonna win.
Yeah, queen high then.
Jokes are somehow a lot funnier when you're raking in chips.
As we come to hand number 150.
Hey, Max. Last hand.
Go all in.
Final.
Go all in. Have no fear.
I never be upset like that in this moment.
Action will start on the cannon.
I have to say a thing for last time. I promise, I make a promise, I made a promise.
Will he play? King 6.
I have to see the camera, hello banana, because
Nope, he folds and Gonzo's drawing dead for the passport.
I can't even believe Max kept the banana promise he made me. What a good guy.
Then here he raises to 1,200 with the Queen 10. 2 10s for Elke. Raises to 3,800, lockout.
I wish I was here all day to see the madness, you know?
OMG was so awesome. Best week ever.
Ace 10 of hearts for Mercier. Repops it to 10-7.
Last hand of the night, why not?
And here he folds and it's back on Elke.
Elke's got a big pocket pair and he's got position.
And he's got chips. And he's calling.
Jason Mercier not in great shape. Never really heard him before though.
Flop. 9-7-7, 2 clubs.
Pretty good flop for Elke. Jason didn't even hit the right color.
He'll check.
Gives up the lead.
And Elke bets 12,200.
Mercier's got no pair and no real draw.
And he'll let it go.
had it? When I was up to that time. 2 times?
Elkie shows in the pair.
And Easton's.
And Elkie will take down a pot worth almost $36,000 to end the week.
I'm not ready to say goodbye to these Italians.
I want to say congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Played a hell of a game. Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Been toppled. New shallow monkey in town.
Very nice gesture by Gonzo. He is a true cannon.
So Massimiliano Martinez overtakes Gonzalez Cannon on the final night with a loose cannon lead and finishes with a profit of more than $163,000. Overall, Elkie was the big winner, while Phil and Bill went home disappointed.
Max has posted a number that'll be extremely tough for the other cannons to beat, but then again, I felt the same way about Gonzo before this week began.
And right now, Amanda's with a very happy loose cannon.
Max, you were so calm, cool, collected the entire week. Now that it's all over, what are you feeling?
Oh, I feel great. I win a lot. I'm so happy. I'm quite proud of my game.
Выиграл. Я теперь
I
паспорт.
can't imagine nothing better. So I'm very, very happy.
Well, you told me what really excites you this tournament, right? So this money and that potential NAPT passport, is that going to jumpstart your poker career?
Oh, I think for a pro, for every person who will live playing this game, that's the better thing can happen.
Good luck. We'll see if your number holds up, all right? Carla, come on out. Give him a hug. This is your girlfriend?
Yeah?
All right, guys. That's it for this week. I'm Amanda Leatherman saying goodbye for now. And remember, if you've got the cash and the guts, there's always a seat open at the big game. Good night, everybody.
Max has the passport lead, but this season still has a long way to go. For Stapes, this is Hump saying, ciao.
I have to say he's a very good loose cannon. He set the tone of the game like right from the start.
He tired me out. I gave up playing against him.
He showed to many people that Italians are not dunk, and we really did.
Man, he had a lot of heart, I'll tell you that.
I think if we played with this loose cannon every day, he'd get himself busted, 4 out of 10 times for sure.
I must feel adamant that it's incredible. Probably tomorrow when I wake up, I say, wow. Can't win better? Probably not so. Sono Massimiliano Martinez e ho distrutto il big game.
The preceding program was sponsored. The following program is sponsored by PokerStars.com.
For me, it started the same. It's started soccer. Pool halls in Toronto, poker rooms in Las Vegas.
It's given me a life. I've never been very good at dreams. The game has taken me around the world. I've seen it all.
Windy City to Sim City. This game can make you a legend.
This game can make you a champion.
It started small, but it started
Now it's the big game.
This is the next generation.
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
Welcome to the big game from Las Vegas, Nevada. Alongside Joe Stapleton, I'm Scott Huff, and tonight there's already $800,000 in cash on the table. Some of the top players in the world have come to battle here in our state-of-the-art poker room.
In C2 is the winner of the 2010 World Series of Poker main event, Rosalind Jonathan Duhamel. It'll be fun to see how he does playing in that cash game.
24-year-old pro Jason Mercier just happened to have exactly $213,500 left in his backpack this morning, which explains the buying amount.
Guy Laliberti is a wealthy amateur player. He's a billionaire, the creator of Cirque du Soleil. Oddly enough, he usually plays poker for higher stakes than this. He's in for $200K.
Bob Bulgaris is a high-stakes cash game regular with years of experience, but he doesn't call himself a poker pro. He's bought in for 100 dimes.
Straight out of Brooklyn by way of Kiev, Ukraine, Eugene Kashlov doesn't say much, but he does rake a lot of chips. He's in for 100 dimes as well.
Our loose cannon is a college admissions officer, Carrie Burchell. Carrie was born with a hole in her heart. He's already beat the odds just to be standing here today. She's been staked 100 grand, and she's with Amanda.
Carrie, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling really excited to actually qualify online in a free roll and be able to be staked in the largest cash game I've ever played in. It's definitely feeling really good right now.
Well, I know your nerves are probably going up and down a little bit. One of our producers actually saw you wandering around the casino at 4:30 in the morning. What's going on in your head?
I just couldn't sleep. I worked a full day that day, and I went to bed pretty early, and I woke up and I couldn't get back to sleep, so I figured, I'll take a stroll.
All right. So So if you won a lot of money here today, what would you be able to do with it?
I would be able to do a lot. Actually, one of the most important things I'll do is I actually give some money to my dad's church. You know, my dad really doesn't, you know, so much condone the idea of me playing poker, but, you know, I definitely believe in him and his ministry, so that's something positive that I'll be able to do with my money.
Here's another look at the loose cannon rules. Each cannon is staked $100,000 to play. They keep all winnings above the initial $100K, and the loose cannons won the most money this season earned the North American Poker Tour passport worth $50,000.
Right now, the leading loose cannon to beat is Italian Massimiliano Martinez. He set the bar high at over 163K or 11 bajillion lira.
Terry usually plays 1-2, Joe, that's $1, $2.
So what do you want to accomplish, Gary? This is an opportunity of a lifetime. What do you think about that?
I don't have a set goal.
You don't have a set goal?
Because if I tell you guys what my goal is when I get there,
We'll know.
you'll know.
Right. I find it better to go through life with a goal than with a squad.
King Queenie pots it.
He learned to play poker by jumping into the biggest game in the world and losing to the likes of Barry Greenstein and Doyle Brunson. Always a seat up for He.
He's made 2,000 bombs down. Over the cannon with ace through space.
It's a weak ace, but she's suited and in position.
She calls. Duhamel with ace queen makes the call. Mercer is out.
Ace queen is often a 3-bet while out of position, but some folks like to feel out the table dynamic first.
Three-way action on the first hand. Deuce, jack, three, couple of spades. Pairing enough flush draws the cannon. Duhamel checks.
This first hand should tell us a lot about what kind of cannon we got.
While Alerte leads out 5,000.
He was the original raiser. Now, this would be a good spot for a raise. Gut check time.
Rochelle makes 17,000 like it's nothing.
Okay.
Duhamel out, and Alerte folds. Cannon will take down the first hand of the night.
Carrie just semi-bluffed 20% of her stack on the first hand of the night. Unprecedented. And I think I'm a little tingling.
Now let's go over the rules of the big game. Each table lasts exactly 150 hands. The action pre-flop is top limited and becomes no limit after the flop. Blinds are 2 and 400 with a $100 ante, all of which is paid by the player on the button. Every player begins with at least 100K, but can rebuy for up to 500,000.
And remember, this season our loose cannon cannot come back after they played the week's 150 hands.
The action will start on Terry Rochelle. She looks down at 7 of clubs, 8 of clubs. She'll limp.
Not a huge fan of limping at all in this format, especially for a loose cannon.
Action reverse here with King 10. Looks like he's reaching for a raise. Makes it 1,800 while Alerte out. Bobble gears. 10-8 offsuit. He'll let go. And catch comes out. Back on the cannon.
Why are you so expensive?
The chase just blushed. But at least she's not limp bowling. That would be terrible bad.
Those are a lot of chips. I can't imagine that's a legal race.
Carrie makes it 15,000.
You know what?
We're pot limit before the flop, so it will count as a raise. Only 6,600. Am I getting an angle shot already?
Did you mean to call, Gary? Let her call.
No. Did you mean to call? Good answer, Carrie. I'm getting an angle shot already. This is so sick. Way too early to get an angle shot. An angle shot is when you pretend to make a mistake, requires questionable ethics.
I don't know how you go there. What's that angle shot?
Don't think it was an angle shot. The question is, did she forget what the chips were worth or just that we were popping it pre-flop? Doesn't matter now. Ship it.
Did you really need to raise?
No,
Did, right?
I don't know how you didn't raise it. It's just wrong.
For real?
Well, no, he just meant to make 15,200 pops before the flop. And then in her face, you look so. You're a professional poker player, right?
Oh my god, you know how many times I've like gone to that spot and like just got totally
But this is really what you do.
I know, you should put up 20,000 and then like they just ship on you and you're like, oh cool.
The Poker Pro Mercer makes it 1,200 with ace tray. The action folds around catches off with ace queen. In a dominating position, makes the call. Jack deuce with the cannon. First hand she can't play.
Alright, you want to chop it down now that we got the chasers out?
Chasers. Punks.
And it's up to the flop. Deuce, jack, queen, couple of clubs, top pair for catch off. Mercer nut bluff draw, and it's check to him.
Eugene's ahead, but Jason's got plenty of equity and will probably want to build a pot.
Jason leads out 1,700.
Eugene is ahead, but he's not doing great against some draws, so raising is a little risky. Calling's probably best.
the turn, 7 of diamonds, that's on the club. Catch a lot of jacks.
Safe Chase wants to keep firing.
Nope. See river, 9 of spades.
Clubs, brick, but a few straight came in.
The nines makes every hand that I can beat.
Says the chaser.
I need you to change one of the suits of the river.
And catch a lot of river bet will take you down. Mercy your folds.
Making sure I didn't fold enough. Two spades, two clubs there.
This guy really is a poker pro. He tells the suits apart and everything. Eugene Katloff can do that too, and stack chips at the same time. We're just getting started here, folks. There's plenty more big game action when we get back. Welcome back to Las Vegas and the big game, where 29-year-old amateur Carrie Burchell has been given $100,000 to battle some of the toughest players in the world. From the day she was born, she's always been a fighter.
When I was born with a hole in my heart, which they didn't think was going to be a big deal. They actually told my parents that as I grew older, it would actually close on its own. They just said that they would just have to monitor her, you know, as she grew, and that her physical activity would have to be limited. When I got to high school, I actually used to get really tired. So I went back in to see my cardiologist. They wanted to close the hole in her heart because her heart had become enlarged. What was happening was that my lungs were building up blockers, so that by the time I was 25, my lungs would have built up enough blockers to eventually have shut down. And they said, you know, 50-50 chance that once we do this, that she'll be okay the rest of her life, but we need to do it now. They actually put a patch over the hole in my heart so that the blood would no longer pump through the hole. They were successful at closing the hole. She still has to be a little cautious at the things that she does when it comes to physical activity, but I would say she's okay. So seeing now that I'm actually over the age of 25, I actually do live life to the fullest, and I try not to waste time doing things that I don't enjoy or doing things just because I feel like I have to. So when I want to do something, I typically set a plan and I get out there and I do it. Describe Carrie in one word: driven.
Carrie's decided she's going to live life to the fullest. Glad she considers the big game to be a part of that. Hopefully she'll win some cash and use that for some more adventures.
Mercer's out on Gee. Folds. Over to Bob. With ace 5 offsuit. Yellow with the bottom, 1600, cash all out. King 10 of diamonds with the cannon. She calls, Lunel out.
Did you need a raise?
Was that a raise?
So you think she really didn't need a raise?
Of course. Are you out of your mind? You seriously play, you seriously are professional poker player. Have no concept of what's going on around you.
Oh yeah, by the way, Bob's sort of brutally honest.
To the flop. 9, 9, 7, couple of hearts. Burchell checks. Bob fires 2200.
Threw in 50,000, then made the space like,
Oh, it was a big accident. Like, okay, cool.
you have aces.
Carrie didn't have aces. She had 8-7, which, if you say it right, kind of sounds like aces.
She folds.
I'm gonna look like the genius, you're gonna look like the idiot if she has aces.
I'd like to see the TV show where you look like a genius and I look like a genius. I'll sign up to watch that. I'll TiVo it.
Alright, everyone knows you're smarter than me.
This is TV.
No, he's not.
This is playful.
I mean, you gotta be to do what you do.
And what does he do? He watches every minute of every NBA game. He soaks it all in and then bets accordingly. And he's really, really good at it. Like NBA teams have offered him jobs as an analyst good at it. And though he claims not to be a poker pro, he's logged plenty of hours on the tournament circuit and in cash games. He also has almost no filters, so try to stay on his good side.
I've tried, you know, when you put in like long sessions and you shuffle and you start to like, you have carpal tunnel in your wrist.
I don't know if you're trying to pretend to play poker or if you're like, I don't know if we're gonna hustle or what. I don't know if someone's so honest with the fact that they play poker.
Bob likes to downplay his poker knowledge a bit as well.
Actor pulls around to the cannon with ace 4.
Does this look like the face of a hustler?
Hustler folds.
We don't know yet.
Speaking of hustlers, have you seen the price for tickets to O?
You almost raised 1200 with rags. Mercier with king queen. Good call. And speaking of O, he is O-U-T.
We.
So go heads up to the flop. Ace, 4, 6, 2 clubs. You'll know what bottom to pair.
Carry would have flopped top and bottom.
Versus checks.
Not in position, not the aggressor. So many reasons for Duhamel to see that. Value, protection, and get action from all kinds of worse hands.
Bets out 2,200.
For Jason, this call would be a little loose, but he is beating a pure bluff. Just something Duhamel probably would have a certain amount of time.
Versus does call. Turn, king of spades. Mercer makes a pair.
Terrible card for Jason.
Checks.
Obviously, Duhamel can continue value betting.
How much value does he want? 5,600 worth.
Jason's got even more reason to think he might have the best hand.
He calls.
Versus tossing in those chips like he knows he's never going to see him again.
To the river. Deuce of diamonds.
3-5, which was open-ended down the flop, came in, but Duhamel will still likely want to try to value bet this.
And Mercer checks again. Duhamel fires.
Sounds like Duhamel could get paid.
Seems insane to call flop, not call turn.
There are some missed draws Duhamel could have been barreling with.
Conger, probably that.
Story checks out.
Bluffing. You can only bluff. 14-4. Seems like fold.
Story still checks out.
Trying to get me back. I think you just like you flop something good. Like ace 4.
Story continues to check out. Nah, I've got to carry that too soon.
I wonder how this hand would have played if I free bet.
He'd probably lose a much bigger pot.
I think I lose more.
Story still checking out. When's the end of this story?
Okay. I'm glad we're playing number hand on our
That's why I take I'm gonna be calling you for the day.
Where's your pulse?
Which one?
No. No way. So Duhamel breaks the ice.
Hockey reference.
He had it.
Yeah. He would have shown love.
The main event champ takes down 33K, and the only thing that gets shown down are the entire contents of Jason Mercier's brain. We've got plenty more action to come when we return on the big game. Welcome back to Las Vegas and Big Game. There's over 800 grand in cash on that table right there. Cards are in the air. And again, this time on Fear Pro Eugene Capital Hub.
Eugene's been reserved the tables. I tried to pitch him some nicknames. He rejected both the Quiet Storm and Silent Deadly.
They'll be silent in this hand. Let's go. Jack 9 for Shell. Folds. Tom out. Mercier 7 Trey. Folding. Geeky Cleats. King Queen Bob. Raises.
I love first.
Geeky calls.
Bob's got he dominated.
To the flop. Deuce 4 Queen.
Blind versus blind. Both flop top pair. Cooler.
And it checks around. Turn 6 spades.
Bob's checking there for pure deception.
Well, Alberto bets out 2,000. Poker makes the call.
He's also picked up a gut shot. He's in real trouble unless a 5 or a tray hits.
River's another 6. Bob's got him locked up. He doesn't fold. 5,500 is bad. Bob's just calling.
Typically, when you check the flop, you try to get the raise in there somewhere. How good do you play? Maybe.
So Bob got max value out of the billionaire who follows his passion. The man who learned poker by playing at the highest stakes against the legends of the game.
I am Guy from Cirque du Soleil, and I'm on the big game. Well, I'm just an happy camper who one day had a dream of traveling. So for 10 years of my life, it was basically living the street, traveling around the world, and making money out of passing acts. And then in 1984, I started a dream of mine, which was Cirque du Soleil. We have 22 shows around the world, and having fun doing what we're doing. There was a couple of my friends who were telling me that a poker game was a good one to get in. So I basically jumped in. I think if you want to play great quality poker, and you have to sit down and learn and play with the player. That's what I'd be doing.
For him to be playing with them as an amateur, I think he learned pretty hard. He learned fast at the same time, and now he's like a much better poker player than he was before because of that.
So he knows what it takes to be successful. He's a very competitive person. The only thing that holds him back, he's got a day job, and he's got other things that he does, so he can't just focus on poker like a lot of us can.
I think multiple players think that he has targets back because of who he is. I think he might have targets back, especially in his lineup. Everyone's just kind of like, seasoned, so everyone, I guess, is kind of formed.
Of course it's a target. People are looking for money, and they go where the money is, and I do have money. I believe I'm not that easy, so we'll see. My track record is pretty good.
If I were playing, I would target E, not because he's a bad player, but because they paid $200 for obstructing UC's humanity. It is important to note, however, that where E goes, so goes the action. Y'all are in for a real treat. This is E's first time on a poker TV show since 2008.
Action will start here on Jonathan Duhamel with Jack Deuce.
You play more poker.
He folds over Mercier, Queen 5.
No one plays more poker than Jason Mercier. Kid plays poker while he's playing poker.
Except this hand, he lets it go on the lever 2 with ace king clubs, raises 1600. Here's Jack Trey, he'll fold. Pocket 9s for Eugene Catalan. Calls. Over to the cannon, pocket ace.
Carrie's in bad shape with these two hands. She's got implied odds for flopping a set, but as it stands, her equity is total trash bags.
Calls. Three-way act to the flop. Trade ace, he flop trips.
Sounds like something that happened at a Cirque show. Come see the amazing flopping trips.
Catalan checks, Rochelle passes.
Six spot for a C-bet. No one ever believes flop trips.
Looks like he will. And he does. He bets 3,100.
Eugene has what will be a lot of the time the best hand.
Makes the call.
With a bet and a call in front of her and a super dry board, Carrie can maybe get away from this.
Maybe not, Joe.
Oh boy.
She calls 3,100 in last place.
Even if you hit your 2 hour, you can still get stacked by aces full.
Turn, 10 of spades. Catalan checks.
Carrie's looking at her chips like she wants to dunk this turn.
The timing couldn't be worse. She's been aggressive so far and can stay aggressive. Bets 8,400.
Her aggression is going to work against her in this particular case. She's got E's attention.
She's got his attention, Joe. What could he possibly be thinking about if he has trips?
Well, I think the most likely hands for Carrie to lead out with in this spot are an ace to check, pocket tens, or a pure bluff. Maybe a picked up flush draw on the turn. No way he's folding.
Well, he's got trip ace and he's worth a couple $1 billion, so I like to read Joe. And he is going to raise. 20,000 on top. Welcome to the big game, Cannon. Catalan's out.
He's hoping Carrie will go broke with a smaller ace. Should be a super easy fold for her at this point. This Canada does not want to be outplayed.
She makes the right fold.
So he maybe even saved her money because who knows, she might have been fired again on the river. And I think his raise was a little risky because as an amateur, she might also lead out in that spot with hands that have a bead.
And the richest circus clown ever takes a spot worth 51,500.
Still building their tournament in one?
Like 4 or 5 years. What? What are you laughing for? That's all I play.
I know. 4 or 5 years.
It's a lot.
What would I do?
Probably. You play more than I do.
For Life King?
Yeah. Well, not lifetime, but like the last 5 years.
Sure. But tournament, I can't. Too long.
You don't know when you're down.
Exactly.
He hates tournaments. Jason hates tournaments, which is why he routinely beats them like a drum.
Well, Bulgaris, Jack 6. That's a fold in hand. Eugene, Queen 8. Let's go. Cannon's out. Duhamel, 6-5. He's going to raise on the button. King 5 down for Mercier. Re-raises 4,100.
Mercier getting queued out of the small line.
Well, the third the only one with real hand, pocket 7s.
Beckoning to Jason Mercier like he's a horse.
He calls. Back on Duhamel. He'll call his piece of cheese.
Kind of loose, but he's not cold calling. He was getting good pot odds, and he's in position, plus he has the bracelet.
4, 6, 8 rainbow. Everyone flops gut shots. Duhamel hits middle pair.
He's blocked Jason and Jonathan, and vice versa.
Mercier checks.
He has the best hand.
Checks his pair and gut shot.
Duhamel's likely to think he has the best hand.
Still has button. And some chips. Makes 7,800.
Over to Mercier's gut shot.
Let's go.
Over to the guy who does have the best hand.
Alright.
So he's going to raise it. Match to 7,800. And he'll make it 24,300 to go.
He's kind of turned his hand into a bluff, which is actually a little too strong for, but I guess he'd be happy to win this right now. We've got a French-Canadian on French-Canadian brawl here. Hockey sticks and baguettes.
Duhamel holds. Blame Canada. The high wire act continues for Lalaberti. That's a huge raise to win that pot.
Okay. Sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't.
Shake it off, Jonathan. C'est la vie. More big game on the way.
Jonathan, you got this pre-game ritual, right? The kind of shadow box. Does the shadow win first of all?
Yeah. Really? I saw the War II, right?
Yeah. That was the shadow.
That's when it started, actually. I kind of started when I was needing the money. Just started doing that, just to keep my focus and stuff. It was doing great. I was doing that.
Helps you get the nerves out too, right?
Oh, yeah, a little bit. Like, I kind of, before going to add, like, my last 2 hours, just thinking about the next 2 hours, just to keep focused, to be ready and stuff.
I don't know if you can tell before I do my job, I like shadow drink, only without the shadow part.
Oh my God. Right now it's time for my favorite segment of the night, Couch Can in Hand. This is where we all get to experience what it's like under the gun and in the hot seat from the eyes of our loose cannon. The action this time will start on cannon and carry shell.
Should be really fun considering so far Carrie's been an absolute baller
And a shot caller. King 10 and diamonds.
Super Broadway cars should be a raise. Okie
She just limps.
Alright, I take no responsibility for what happens after this. Wash my hands. I'm out.
Duhamel raises 1,600. Mercier taking his time. Makes the call.
Alright, well, Jason's in. I'll back in.
He makes the call.
This is Carrie's fault for not raising. I don't care what Phil Helmuth said last week. King 10 is not a trapper hand.
Apparently not enough money in the pot for whatever track Bob had. Catch levels. Back on the cannon.
Carrie's limp has backed herself into a corner. She has to call, but now she's up against 3 opponents. No 3 bets, so maybe nothing too scary out there.
More way active to the flop. Jack 4 deuce. Couple of diamonds. Carrie has a big flush draw. Checks it.
She's done the right thing by checking to the original raiser. If she had let it this flop, she could easily be raised, and all she's got at the moment is king high. Reaching for C-bet chips.
Duhamel continues. Jason quickly out.
Duhamel's original raise may have just been an isolation attempt to get the pot heads up with Carrie, so this could just be a C-bet with anything.
Now it's up to Gee. Seems like he's at least contemplating a call.
Or maybe putting a flaming dragon in his next search show.
And he lets it go. Action back on our cannon.
This is a pretty obvious call. However, a little poker tidbit, if you always just call with a draw on this spot and always raise with strong hands, it's easier for your opponent to get a read on you when you do one or the other.
She just calls this time. So we'll see the turn card. 10 of spades, carrying now with a pair go to their flush draw.
Great turn card, Carrie can now easily have the best hand.
Checks it.
Fine with her checking back to the last aggressor.
Hummel fires again, 11,600.
Alright, so I don't like this bet. Hummel pursed his lips, which is sometimes indicative of a bluff, but I say I'm 50-50 on my library at best. I don't think Carrie should fold, but I'm cautious about calling another bet on the river if she doesn't improve.
Hummel certainly very interested in what Carrie's about to do here. It looks like she's at least calling. She does. Makes the call.
Carrie's got a decent amount of showdown value with second pair, and of course she still has that diamond draw.
River, Queen of Spades. Carrie's not loving that card.
That is not a good card. A lot of stuff to beat Carrie now.
She checks it.
Queen and Jack, Ace King, 8-9. Really hope this bet isn't too much.
How about 27,500?
That's a bomb. I can totally see Jonathan playing Ace King the whole way this way. I think this is a fold. Maybe Carrie's getting outplayed, but whatever. There are better spots. Call this bet would be over 35% of Carrie's remaining stack.
Which he calls.
You call? You got
Hummel. 8-7. Missed his straight. Trying to three-barrel bluff. Carrie picks it off. What an amazing call.
I think that sends a message a little bit, right?
And that message is that Carrie is a baller
and a bluff caller.
Whoops. Whoops. Very good.
You can have all these.
It's all yours.
Our loose cannon Carrie Rochelle just turned the main event champ into French toast. She's up over 40 dimes. Will her success continue? Find out when we come back. Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada, and the big game alongside Joe Stapleton. I'm Scott Huff. There's over 800 grand on that table right now. Our loose cannon is up, Joe.
She's up about 43 dimes, and all I can say is Carrie knows how to dance like nobody's watching. Lovely, she'll never be hurt, and play poker like it's someone else's money.
Canadian champ Jonathan Hummel added another 50K in ammo after having a big bluff picked off.
When he won the main event, Barasa led Hummel donated 100 dimes to the Montreal Canadian Children's Foundation, which is awesome and everything, but he's Canadian and it just had to do with hockey. I mean, the jokes write themselves. It was either that or the Make a Maple Syrup Wish Foundation.
Action folds around the cannon. Ace-10 offsuit.
Should be an easy raise from late position with an unopened pot.
She does bump it up to 1,700. Hummel, 6-7. Looks like
Hummel might want to take another crack at the cannon in position.
Makes the call. King 4, folds.
Wonder how likely Jonathan is to try another bluffing spot.
So Jonathan and Carrie will go at it again. 9-5-6, couple of dimes to Hummel hits a pair of sixes.
Carrie with pre-flop betting lead.
She's reaching for chips. Bets 3,300.
Or 3/4 of the pot. Don't think Hummel's going anywhere. Not only does he have the best hand, but he's also got a pretty strong draw.
He calls. Turn 4 hearts.
Hummel picks up 4 ounces to straight. Now he's open-ended. Gonna make it tough for Carrie to bluff him out even if she can fire the second barrel.
She's not scared though, bets 8,400.
Carrie is a baller. Still, even if Jonathan may be convinced he's behind at the moment, he would have too much equity to fold. That's a pretty big if to begin with. Wonder if he could give Carrie credit for barreling the ace high though.
Doesn't look like he's going anywhere. Reaching for chips. And Jonathan will make a call.
He's a huge favorite headed into the river.
Which is 3 of clubs. Jonathan hits it straight.
Will this be a scare card for Carrie, or will she keep firing? Carrie is loading up for the third barrel.
There's 13,500.
There's definitely action in that corner.
Take up Callous Truck players. You found the soft spot. Dude, you don't even have the soft spot. Just like right up.
I'm talking that way about a fellow Canadian. That's not even cool, eh? There's only one hand that beats you almost, so I think it's pretty likely we're going to see a raise here.
Plus, Bob probably didn't do Carey any favors by calling Jonathan out.
Even though Carey's just fired 13-5 to the abyss, I do respect the hustle.
Healthy raise 32,300.
No chance she calls this, but I honestly don't blame her for trying to make it look good. The less information she gives about herself, the better. Her lips and the squinty eyes are a nice touch.
And you still have enough Carey. Let's go.
Hey, go it, Don. Come on. What are you gonna do?
I never bluff, you know that. So Duhamel wins that one against our loose cannon, but she's playing like a champ. In fact, her stats tell us that she's literally playing exactly like 2010 World Series Poker main event champion in all four of these categories. Yes, I'm a stats geek. Yes, I could be more aroused by this comparison. She's been playing aggressively and obviously isn't afraid to get money in there. Even though she did just drop 27K to Duhamel on that last hand, she made a fearless call against it earlier tonight, and she's the one who's now up almost 16 grand. So far in bracelets versus bracelet, advantage, bracelets. Carey does have some nice jewelry there. Is there a WSOP bracelet next to
Actual star here on Eugene Kadylov. He's been off quiet so far tonight.
I asked him about it. He said,
maybe get a little bored, raise it up with queen 4, Rochelle, king 6, folds, Duhamel out, Jason Mercier, 8-6, he'll fold, E with ace queen,
can offer me a 3-bet in this position.
But just call.
Eugene did raise under the gun, which usually knows.
Bob plays rag.
Bob played pretty snug tonight.
He'll let it go.
He's right now involved with a weak offsuit ace.
Heads up to the flop. Frey 9-9. 2 diamonds. Cleat air ball.
He's ahead with his eye.
Checks it.
Eugene's in position.
They'll continue bet 1,600.
He's so rich he went to space on vacation. $1,600 maybe to get Starbucks up there.
He calls.
Worse than Hawaii.
To turn. Jack of spades.
No one picks up any additional outs.
He checks again. And catch will slow down. River, 4 of spades. Eugene makes a pair.
Now he's looking to lead all of a sudden.
Fires out 5,200.
I think he's bluffing, but I'm not sure how many better hands would fold. Eugene might have the only one. Especially since this all of a sudden lead out does kind of smell a little value-y.
He'll fold. Oliver takes away with a small bluff.
He stared off Eugene like a fire-breathing acrobatic clown.
Yeah, they try to pick up on mine all the time. Run into the buzzsaw. The original G.
It's pronounced G, not G.
So he makes it look easy to bluff pros. You can keep taking these veterans to the shed when you get back. Welcome back to Las Vegas and the big game. Right now, the cards being dealt in the action will start on 24-year-old pro Jason Mercier.
His Duhamel's razors must have been confiscated in airport security.
Queen 10 for Jason. Bumps it up to 1,200. He's out. Bob Garris. Ace 5. Folds. Catch all out. Our loose cannon, Harry Rochelle. Pocket 7s. She'll make a call. Main event champ Jonathan Duhamel. Ace 3 of spades. And he makes the call.
Carey and Jonathan both just called out of position, but Jason did raise under the gun, so typically that narrows his range to stronger hands.
Queen deuce 5 rainbow on the flop. Mercier flops top pair. Rochelle checked it.
Playing in flow.
Duhamel checks.
Go with the flow. Jason wasted no time catching up, out-flopping Carey. Typically he waits till the turn river.
Field flow. Bet 2,300.
Carey may not hate the sole overcard on board.
Makes the call. Duhamel folds.
Well, at the moment she's drawing to a 2-outer. Heads up to the turn, jack of spades. Board gets worse for 2 sevens. Or shell checks. And not much worse for queen 10.
Is that a check?
Mercier checks behind. River 6 of spades. Duhamel would have made backdoor spades, nut spades. Checking and hoping for some cheap showdown value would be fine for Carrie here, even though we know she's losing. Or she could have. How about barreling 9,000 on the end? That's an overbet. Jason's a little perplexed by the meaning of this overbet. Typically, an overbet is a polarizing move, meaning you have a huge hand or you're bluffing. Carrie's hand isn't a pure bluff, but she's turned her hand into a bluff of sorts. Playing against an amateur is particularly difficult because you have to wonder if they know what an overbet is supposed to mean. Did they even intend to overbet? Do they know that overbetting is even a thing? Look, there's only so much I can say about overbetting, Mercier. That's 9K. Make that like 0.2 turns. Make a decision, will ya?
Not planning on that.
Well, now that he's been over the plan, maybe he can make a decision. Wow, it's a 9K decision. Thanks for the memories, Mercier. Carrie keep pretty cool during all this.
Yeah.
Mercier folds. The loose cannon just out-level Jason Mercier. A baller! Rochelle bluffs again and wins.
She's like validating like ace jack there. And I'm just like so so bad.
You wish your hand's that good. Mercier makes another questionable laydown to the candidate who's clearly come to play. Joe, what have you noticed so far about this table? I've noticed that they've all come to play. Though Mercier is voluntarily putting chips in play the most, no one's VVIP is that far behind. No one is a clear chip miser at this table, and no one is acting like a maniac either. They're all here to tangle. It's making for a fun table so far, and I have to think it will inevitably lead to some bigger pots later in the week.
Well, Joe, you certainly wouldn't know that Carrie's usual stakes are $1 or $2.
Well, she's playing like it's a $1, $2 game. Doesn't really seem to be sweating money much at all.
Acting on all Garrett's pocket queen.
This is a good dog. Yeah, he's a good dog.
Bob raises. Bob has a Jack Russell Terrier named Coltrane, thinks he's a big dog, and a jazz saxophonist. Attachment calls. Rochelle folds. Almost out. Jason Mercier raises Jack of spades. 3-bets to 7,200. Lover take quickly out.
This is one of those situations where Jason doesn't want to take this flop out of position without the lead. Bob's probably considering a 4-bet, which is fine in this spot. You should really only 4-bet if you're not planning on folding to a 5-bet.
4-bets to 18,700. Eugene out. Mercier no longer the lead.
You start with 100. Yep.
Yum. It's like Jason might be considering seeing a flop, maybe putting in a 5th bet.
Opts to just call. So a nice size bottom, we go heads up to the flop. 10 queen 8, couple of hearts, Bob with a set.
Bob's got the nuts for now, but it's a bit of a wet, scary board.
Mercier checks his gut shot.
Bob really can't afford to slow play this. Way too many draws out there.
That's 32,200.
Bob's made it pretty expensive for Jason to draw to his double gutter. Jason's been getting run over a little bit. Gotta wonder if that's going to factor into his decision at all. It may push him more in the direction of shoving, which could maybe get Bob to fold a hand like ace-king, but getting him to fold a set or an overpair would be next to impossible. Not really sure what would take Jason so long. Maybe something in the back of his head screaming, shove, shove. Really should be a pretty easy laydown.
And he does let it go.
Finally.
Bob's going to take down the pot.
I did it turn.
I see the top card, yeah. And then
Rabbit Hunt, Bob should have brought Jack Russell Terrier.
I see the rabbit.
Big, there it is. Jason went straight.
Unless you have the nuts.
Like on flop that have nuts?
No. Unless you have a flush.
Sometimes it's just better not to look. And looking at our leaderboard, we can see that Bob is our big winner so far, up over 42,000, followed by our loose cannon and our billionaire. Both are up around 20 grand.
Cashlov is down a little, and the WSOP main event champion does not seem to be faring well in our cash game. He's stuck 36 grand,
While Jason Mercier got hammered for 40 dimes.
All right, guys, into the night. Carrie, you're really holding your own out here, huh?
Trying to.
How you feeling? Yeah? Jason, you've been ultra chatty today.
Yeah, I know.
Why? A lot of action.
Yeah, I know. Too much action for me, I think.
All right, shut up. Whatever. It's the end of the night, guys. I'm Amanda Leatherman saying goodbye for now. And remember, you've got cash and the guts. There's always a seat open at the big game. Good night, everybody.
Shaping up to be an action-packed week here on the big game with a cannon who's not afraid to fire. See if she keeps it up tomorrow night. For States, this is up. So long.
You have one key? Yeah?
It's good to know some new people.
What do you think of this family?
Are they making that?
Don't you think this is kind of crazy? A little bit?
No.
Yeah. Soft man.
The preceding program was sponsored by PokerStars.com. Following program is sponsored by PokerStars.com. Previously on the big game, well, the amateur and well-known whale Gila Alberti splashed around in the deep end and came up with shit.
Sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't.
Loose cannon Carrie Burchell got poker pro Jason Mercier to guess wrong.
That is a little too much. Darn, I'm gonna fold.
I don't know how you fold there.
I'm gonna look like James. You're gonna look like the idiot she has ace.
I'd like to see the TV show where you look at the genius like
And 2010 main event champion Jonathan Duhamel also got a message from the kid.
Wow.
This loose cannon had an incredible up and down section. Will she continue to keep these seasoned veterans guessing? Find out tonight on the big game.
Oops.
Hello and welcome to the big game from Las Vegas, Nevada. Alongside Joe Stapleton, I'm Scott Huff, and tonight there's over $850,000 in cash on the table as some of the top players in the world have come to battle it out in our state-of-the-art poker room.
Jason Mercier may be smiling, but he's stuck 40 times and also getting smashed by me in Words with Friends. That's no laughing matter.
Cirque du Soleil creator Gila Alberti was a man of Mystera on night one, bluffing his way to a profit of almost 20 grand.
Bob Harris is a high-stakes cash game regular and NBA enthusiast. Look, you can see he's watching the game now. He's our big winner, up 42K.
Eugene Katilov, born in Ukraine, raised in Brooklyn, feared in Las Vegas. He's down $4,500.
This is our loose cannon, 29-year-old Carrie Burchell. Last night we learned about her being born with a hole in her heart. She's conquered her health issues and has played fearlessly so far. She's currently up over 20 grand.
Our remaining player is the 23-year-old 2010 World Series of Poker main event champion Jonathan Duhamel, and he's standing by with Amanda Leatherman.
Jonathan, you won the World Series of Poker main event, and now you're playing in the big game. How does that pressure compare?
Well, this is tough because you're playing your own money, so you don't want to lose like a couple $100,000, and because you're on TV and stuff, you don't want to like stupid and do like bad decision. So it's kind of tough. It's different pressure, but it's a lot of fun.
I've noticed you've been tangling a lot with our loose cannon. How do you think she's playing?
She is playing very good actually. I've got a couple of times we're trying to do the big bluff and she cut me, so I got to rethink my game. It's quite tough, but I've got some tricks in my pocket, so I'm ready to go back there.
And it's good going on the left.
Yeah, thank you.
Here's another look at the loose cannon rules. Each cannon is staked $100,000 to play. They keep all winnings above the initial $100K. And the loose cannon won the most money at season's end, earns a North American Poker Tour passport worth $50,000.
Right now, the loose cannon to beat is Massimiliano Martinez. Originally, I thought Carrie had no shot, but she showed us last night she stirred to get the money in there.
Definitely not. She had a roller coaster night, up and down, lopped off some money, made a hero call, regardless she was in there, mixing it up all night long.
Action will start on Carrie.
With the 6-4 offsuit. Folds. Duhamel out. Jason Mercier, 9 deuce. Let's it go. He's already looked at his hand.
That's on me.
Have you even looked yet?
He looked.
He gets so excited. As soon as he gets his card, he gets right away. It's like Christmas. Is it Christmas Day? I got no present.
We are talking about a guy who wore a clown nose space. Google it.
He raises 1,400. Bob out. Eugene Catchalov with a real hand, a couple of sevens, makes the call. Heads up to the flop on the first hand of the night. For ace-jack.
Both missed. Eugene with the best hand.
Checks.
He missed about as hard as one can miss.
But he's going to bet it anyway, 2,800. And Catchalov folds.
Gets him to lay down the best hand.
No contest.
Not really. How much Chase?
Chase. This guy. Chase.
As he takes down the first hand of the night, let's go over the rules. It's a big game. Each table lasts exactly 150 hands. The action pre-flop is pot limit. It becomes no limit after the flop. Blinds are 2 and 400 for the $100 ante, all of which is paid by the player on the button. And every player begins with at least 100,000 but can rebuy for up to 500K.
The big rule change this season is that our loose cannon cannot come back if they play the week's 150 hands.
The action this time will start on Jason Mercier. 6 tray. Folds. Valverde, out. Action on Bob. Joe Bob once promised me if he won a World Series poker bracelet, he would give it to me because he didn't care about title, just money.
Guess he hasn't had a chance to welch on that yet.
He folds over to Eugene.
Unopened hand on the button.
Catchalov raises 1,200.
Interesting fact about Eugene, I was talking to his girlfriend in the green room, and apparently he's got a shoe buying problem. He's obsessed with buying sneakers. He's such a Samantha.
And Carrie folds. Duhamel, 10-6 diamonds. Re-raises 4,200. The champ is here.
Obviously, has a great read on Catchalov. Knows he has dominated. You know what else Eugene's girlfriend told me? He's a little OCD and he loves apples.
What is there, a nail salon backstage?
Manny Petty for the win.
10-6 for the win.
Main event champion, it's dead on read. You, sir, you have 10-5. I've got 10-6. Let's like this candle.
I mean, I could just call and see what happens at position. But I was like, wow, I could do a lot 30,000 in my head. I was like, I could take a trip to like BG with like, you know, I think about that with everything. When I bet on sports, I think about that too. Like I lose like whatever, I'm like, oh, I could have bought a lot of art. I could have bought like a lot of stuff that.
Very interesting. So every hand you're in, you gotta wait if you're
If it's a certain threshold.
Action folds around to the cannon with 9-8.
No, it's not like I lose $5 on Subways. Footlong. Something like that.
Bob's more Quiznos guy.
Rochelle raises 1,300. Duhamel, speed limit.
Duhamel will be playing his pair out of position.
Calls the 1,100. Mercier quickly out.
Not sure why Jonathan did 3-bet pre-flop. Could be that he doesn't give Carrie credit for being able to raise her button this wide.
Or Jack King on the flop. Duhamel checks.
Not a great flop for 2-5s, but Duhamel is ahead.
These two tangled on night 1. Carrie reaches again. Fires out 2,300.
Carrie ate Jonathan's lunch last night. He might be a little gun shy.
Let's it go. Rochelle's going to drag a small pot with just a little continuation bet there.
I think Carrie surprised everyone last night, especially Duhamel, when she made a pretty thin call and picked off a bluff. And in general, she's been firing non-stop. You know, I got a good mind to rename Carrie. I'm thinking more like Tenacious C.
The actual start here on Duhamel. The 2010 main event champ with Jack 7 of spades.
Duhamel folds a pair on the last flop, and all of a sudden comes out swinging with a piece of cheese, even world champs tilt.
He makes 1,400 Mercier. His spades in bad shape, makes the call with 10-8. Ace 6 for Gee. Folds. Bob. Ace rag. He's played pretty tight so far. Lets it go. Eugene with 9. Queen. He'll let it go. Over to Carrie. Jack 10.
A fine hand to defend with.
And she does.
Carrie's actually got both her opponents dominated.
Flop 6, 7, king. Duhamel hits a pair.
Big whip for Rochelle.
Who's checked over to Duhamel.
Duhamel has paired his live card, and he was the pre-flop aggressor.
His chance to c-bet fires out 3,400.
Mercier's got a gut shot.
Raises to 10,300.
Sort of a semi-bluff with his gut shot.
Rochelle out, and now on Duhamel, who has a gut check.
So in general, Jason would mostly be raising his strong hands and his draws, and middle pair isn't doing all that well in either case.
Duhamel folds.
You think Duhamel's mad at the way Jason pronounces his name? Sell out.
Mercier takes that one down with a nice bet. And though we've yet to see a river card tonight, I'm betting on some serious showdowns in our future. Don't go anywhere. Big game's just getting started. Welcome back to Las Vegas and the big game. Tonight we've got over 850 grand in cash on the table as the action this time will begin on billionaire Guy Lalaverte.
What do you got?
Looks down at 10-7 offsuit.
He hears that up, down, side-to-side music.
Folds.
He already gets ready to look at the TV.
Bob. King deuce.
Yeah, he hates it.
Folds. Eugene Katcheloff with the king 5. Folds, as does Kerry. Ace 8 for the champ.
Raise, especially small or big.
Raises to 1,600. Mercier, ace 10 of diamonds.
Usually this is a spot for a re-raise.
He just calls.
Decepticon move. Also, Jason probably wouldn't want to call a 4-bet with it, and ace 10 suited does play pretty well in position.
7-4-7. Duhamel does not catch up.
Duhamel had the pre-flop lead. Let's see if he wants to keep it.
Checks.
Jason's in position and knows it's fairly likely that he has the best hand.
Mercier bets out 2,100.
Duhamel's likely to think his ace high is good as well. That's why it's a cold deck.
And Jonathan calls. We'll see a turn. 5 of diamonds.
Both pick up draws. Duhamel a gut shot.
Checks.
Mercier's picked up a flush draw.
And checks behind. River, queen of hearts.
Changes nothing.
Check, check.
Ace side.
Jason wins.
Oh, my little 10-7.
What was that noise? Guess Guy would have made trips.
And Mercier wins with the ace high.
Should have gone for 3 streets.
Yeah.
So the 10 plays for the 24-year-old phenom.
I know, right?
And though it hasn't come naturally for him, Jason Mercier has been learning to play the part of a young poker superstar.
Doing interviews isn't really that difficult. It's just like, I don't know, kind of annoying sometimes. I mean, I definitely enjoy doing interviews.
You just said you didn't.
Sorry. Okay. Let me think about this. I'm just totally freestyling it anyway. I probably wouldn't do as many interviews as I do if I didn't have to, but I know that it's what I need to do now. It's part of the job, and you know, I just put my head down and do it even if I don't feel like it.
You hear the talk.
Sure is if he queen 10-8.
You know, doing commercials. I think I actually don't like doing that a little worse than doing interviews. In commercials, a lot of times you're just doing the same thing over and over and doing multiple takes, and I really don't enjoy that. But you know, I know that I need to do that, and it's part of the job. I don't feel like I'm selling out at all. You know, like all the top players are pretty much sponsored, and that's how you promote yourself and make yourself more well known to the public and everything, and just better for your career. You know, I just prefer to be playing. You know, I really just enjoy playing poker, and The other stuff isn't as easy for me. Knocked it out of the park.
You know who really loves hearing about all those grueling interviews and commercials? Coal miners and air traffic controllers.
So you have to straddle then. Eugene's got to straddle. That was the bet.
You want to start it, Eugene?
Are we straddling?
Straddle if you
We can
want.
do a round if everyone agrees.
Sure.
I mean, we know Jonathan's going to do it.
Jonathan's good for it. Jonathan's still got that.
He just won like, I don't know, 81 million or whatever it was.
More like 82 million.
It was under 9 million, but that goes way down after taxes and ATM fees.
Speaking of 82, Burchell folds hers over to Duhamel. 8-5. Out.
Yeah, they give you already.
All players were paid 9th place cash the day they reached the final table. A little walking around money.
Mercier on the button with ace-8. Raises to 2,700.
Over to the guy who's so rich he summers in space.
Calls 2,500.
Seriously, he went to space as a tourist.
Ace-5 for Bob.
Bob with another weak ace.
Folds. Catch-along with 6 tray.
He straddled this hand.
And calls.
All right, look at that. 2 guys with 6 tray. I love poker. How much you want to bet these 2 pieces of cheese out flop ace-8?
Trade deuce 4 rainbow. Bob would have hit a straight.
I check.
Eugene. Catch-a-lot fires 4,000. Mercier out.
Eugene has donked it. Catchlov's the slight favorite for the outright win because he can hit a backdoor flush, otherwise known as free-rolling clubs.
He made the call. Turn, king of spades. He checks.
Let's see if Eugene wants to summon the power of Grayskull. I mean position. Betting into a billionaire can be scary, though.
Bet 6,000.
Club flush no longer possible. These guys will chop it as long as no one folds.
He makes the call. River. 10 of diamonds. He checks.
No way to value bet this.
And Catch-a-lot checks.
A pair.
It's no good.
As soon as that flop came out, I was like, oh, I know Eugene's leading. This is like a notorious board for Eugene to donk lead in a sandwich when he's sandwiched. It's like, no way he's not betting. I was like, yep.
I had the free roll.
Young Jason Mercier has indeed picked up on Catchlov's donk leading, or donk betting as we call it here in the big game. This stat basically tracks when a player bets into the pre-flop razor rather than playing in flow. And as Jason so politely pointed out, Eugene Catchlov is the only player to employ this strategy so far this week. And remember, when the amateurs do it, it's bad. When the pros do it, it's strategy.
But so far it hasn't cost Eugene much. He's only down about 6 grand. Right now our loose cannon has straddled, so action will start on Duhamel, the 2010 main event champion. 10-4 of spades. Folding.
By the way, the loose cannon straddling, totally baller.
Pocket 6s for Mercier. And he'll call.
Yet another thing I would criticize typically, but since it's Jason Mercier, he's balancing his range.
Liliberte calls. King 4 of diamonds for Bob.
Bob's played pretty snug, but he's getting a good price.
Bob completes, as does Eugene.
What is this, a community pub?
Rochelle with ace deuce.
All right, let's rock.
Pretty standard spot for a check. You don't want to bloat the pot with the worst ace possible. Jason's got the best hand with a pair of 6s. Poor Eugene's dominated in 2 spots.
8, ace 4, a couple of spades. Now everyone has at least a pair.
Carry flop top pair and is a sizable favorite 5 ways.
Bob checks bottom pair.
Eugene hit middle pair, but as I mentioned, he's dominated.
Bets 2,000 anyway.
Not a donk bet because there was no pre-flop aggressor.
Rochelle calls.
I mean, I'm screaming I have a hand, you know?
Oh man, let it go.
Mercier folds, Liliberte calls.
Bob, what to do with bottom pair?
Bob folds.
And between Carey and Guy, they have Eugene drawing nearly dead.
Turn, king of spades. Joe, you know those nights where you feel like you should never fold?
Uh-huh.
This is one of those nights.
Well, I won't.
For Bob. Would have made 2 pair. Action checks to Guy, who checks it. River. 5 of hearts, brick.
Carey's got this locked up as long as she doesn't fold.
Catch-a-lot checks over to Burchell, who checks to Guy.
8. Me too.
Ace.
Ace good.
We always have the same hand. Probably.
They were the same hand. They were both the losers.
So while Guy and Eugene laugh it up playing middle pair, our loose cannon is laughing her way to the bank. Will it continue? Find out when we get back. Plenty more big game on the way.
Guy is probably the one I know the most at the table. We've played a couple of times together, like some, private games and stuff. He's tough to play against, to be honest. You got to be careful with him. Like, for sure, he's got a bunch of money and stuff, but he's dangerous.
It's very tough to play poker with someone who's been in space. I mean, it's like, how do you prepare for that? The guy's been in space.
This is a shot of Guy from 2009 in his astronaut suit. 6 months of training led to 12 days in the International Space Station at an estimated cost of $35 million.
$35 million. I sure hope that 8x10 also came with a couple of wallets and a keychain.
I remember the one time you guys busted me. I went up to my room and I forgot my jacket or something, so you didn't know that I was coming back right away. And I came back and everyone's high-fiving Guy because Guy busted me. It was like, it was like the most. You remember that, Ann? Original chaser right here, by the way. This is the original chaser.
For shell out. Duhamel folds. Action on Jason Mercier.
Unopened button.
10 deuce of hearts.
There's no straddle.
Eugene, you're supposed to straddle.
Raises to 1200 with the Doyle. Ace jack of spades for Guy.
Definitely a 3-betting spot against Mercier.
Guy just calls. 5-4 for Bob.
The swings were...
They were really ridiculous.
The swings were so huge.
Calls out of the big blind.
Let's see if Guy's high-fiving anyone after this hand.
To the flop. Deuce, deuce, 10, 2 clubs. Mercier flops the Doyle dinghy.
What's it like, Jason? What is it like?
Laliberte checks. Bob checks. Mercier with his full boat.
Typically, Jason should bet here and try to get no credit for an on-the-button C-bet.
Fires out 2300.
Jason, we're betting total air. Guy's hand might be good some of the time. As it stands, he's dead to running aces or jacks.
Guy calls. Bob folds.
Jason, the slight favorite as we head to the turn.
Oh, I've seen worse. 6 of spades. Guy picks up a flush draw that can only hurt him. He checks.
Jason continues to run good even after making a hand. He is flush proof.
How much will he bet? 6,100.
Given that there's still a shot his hand could be good already, Guy pretty much has to call with a nut flush draw.
And he will make the call.
Despite what he thinks, Guy definitely does not want to see a spade.
Jack of diamonds on the end.
Also not good for Guy.
Makes a pair and checks.
Guy didn't hit his flush, but he caught something, so Jason can probably still get 3 streets of value, but only if the price is right. Jason, how much is your bid? 7, 12, higher.
15,700, Bob.
Guy Laliberte, come on down. You're the next contestant on Value Town.
Guy calls.
Hell, it was done. Good night.
Doyle Brunson.
And I got my jack at the end. 2 spades. Oh my God. The spades come, I guess.
That spade not coming is the worst beat I've ever seen Jason take. Better luck next time, buddy.
Drags a pot worth 52,400.
And the guy's calling. Here's coming.
I didn't want it from you. I wanted Geraldo to have a deuce. Ace deuce.
Could happen. Glad you're rooting for me, buddy. Good luck trying to get this money.
He didn't have the best of it when those cards were turned over, and so far this week he's only won a quarter of the times he's shown his hand, which is still better than Jonathan Duhamel, who is rocking a goose egg when it comes to showing the goods. He's not once shown down a winner, but when the players in seats 1, 3, and 5 have tabled their hands, they've taken down the pot 100% of the time, which has to make their opponents think twice before firing or calling against them.
I'm glad I didn't re-raise with that jack.
Guess I wish I bet bigger if he had a jack.
Duhamel folds. Mercier with 7-3. He's out.
Yeah.
Ace-5 for Laliberte.
Suited.
Raises to 1,400. 6 tray of spades for Bob.
Bob looks like he's widening his range a bit on the button.
Makes the call. Catch a love out. Carry with king 8 offsuit.
This would be a bit of a loose defend.
Takes a flyer, makes the call.
But we've got the 3 non-pros headed into the flop. Bob the most experienced and literally licking his lips.
6, 6, 7 trips for Bob. What I say about him not folding all night.
Check.
Rochelle checks. Laliberte leads at it.
Guy's continuing with ace high and some backdoor draws. Bob Vulgaire trips is trying to figure out if a raise in this spot will chase away all of his action.
And he's facing a $3,000 bet. And he does raise to 7,000 for shell out.
Are they doing that to me?
Guy taking it personally. Nothing personal, Guy. I mean, when I have nightmares about fire-breathing acrobat clowns, I don't take it personally.
I'll re-raise.
He's going to repop it.
Oh, boy.
3 bets to 19,000.
Bob's got to consider that maybe Guy has a bigger 6, but my guess is that he's loving this.
What are you doing to me? What happened? Well,
whether Bob's Hollywooding or not, this raise is pretty polarizing, so while I think his hand is too strong to fold, if he raises again, he'll chase away all Guy's bluffs and get action from hands that have him beat.
Opts to just make the call. To the turn, 5 of diamonds. Guy hits a pair, Bob adds a gut shot.
The board just got worse for trips, even though Bob's picked up that gut shot draw. Remember, Guy was the last aggressor.
Guy checks.
Guy's given up the lead. Let's see how Bob wants to handle it.
And Bob's gonna check.
Gonna have to get his value on the river.
Which is the 4 of hearts. Bob makes a straight.
Guy's river to flush, draw. And now it looks like he's about to lead at this.
Big lead, $30,000 bet.
just 2 chips? Is that all it is? I actually drew out in some ways. I improved my hand. Probably a bad call.
Bob's hand improved, but I'm sure he'd rather it didn't. With the 4 cards straight out there, he's now handcuffed into either calling or folding.
You have like 2 8s. Like you have 2 8s. Guess if I didn't act like a moron, I could probably raise here. Alright.
Bob makes the call.
Guy hesitant to show.
But he does. And either of Bob's cards is a winner.
I thought that's what you had when you said that, 6-3.
Well, I mean, yeah.
The only
Yeah,
card.
or you have
The
like
3.
Is
The 3 Gilman.
No, I mean, I do have 3 6s, by the way, on the flop.
No.
Okay.
But you don't call if you don't have the 3. Probably not.
I mean, I think my hand got worse.
Yeah,
Got worse, yeah.
Put the pressure on me every time. Ooh, I got one of these ones. See, look.
Yeah,
right there.
Were you thinking about what you could do with 30,000?
No, I was thinking about how tough it is to get these money. And then if I lose, I think about how if I turn my head, people are gonna be high-fiving them. Like last time I walked out the room with my tail between my legs. I lost like half my net worth in one hand. I come back and the whole room is high-fiving me. It was like a joke. Oh, I'm so glad you got his money. Oh, hey, buddy, what's going on?
Well, Bob is up over 90K, and that's no joke. We've got plenty more action right after this. Welcome back to Las Vegas and the big game, where it looks like Amanda Leatherman's on the move.
I'm gonna come sweat.
You're gonna come sweat?
Yeah. Can I sweat your hand?
Grab a seat.
Whose hand are you sweating?
Yours.
Mine, all right.
Before the cards get dealt, let's check in to see where everyone stands. Bob is up 92 grand, and our loose cannon carry is up almost 21K.
Mercier is up a little. Kachelov down 9,500, while Duhamel is stuck 41K. Billionaire Guy Laliberte is down 67 grand and has just added on another 100,000.
Right now, it's time for my favorite segment, the Couch Cannon Hand. This is where we all get to experience what it's like under the gun and in the hot seat from the eyes of our loose cannon.
Carrie's been playing great so far, so I'm predicting that no matter what happens, she'll be baller.
Well, this time the action's going to start on Bob.
For those of you who don't know, Amanda Leatherman is such a cooler, she's a must for any tailgate party.
So we won't know what Bob has.
Every time I raise under the gun, Eugene raises.
And it doesn't matter, he folds.
Because there's so much money in there.
Kachalov's out, so a chance for the loose cannon to open the pot if she has a decent hand. King Queen.
From the cutoff, she wouldn't even need a decent hand, but King Queen's certainly good enough for a raise from any position.
And she does, makes it 1800, gets the champ out of the way. Mercier in the small blind.
So, it's alright.
Calls. He will come along.
Jason just called out of the small blind, and he just defended, so my guess is if anyone had anything really good, he would have 3-bet, especially Jason.
9 Queen Jack, a couple of hearts, top pair for Burchell.
Top pair with a gut shot draw, but this board is wetter than an airport bathroom, so likewise I recommend she proceed with caution.
And the action checks back around to her.
Well, now that it's been checked to her, she's got top pair, she's in position, seems like an obvious spot for a bet. Maybe too obvious? No, just obvious enough.
She should bet. Makes it 5600. Jason's out.
These guys have only seen Carrie showdown winners all week, and they know that she can make some pretty thin calls. So if Guy puts money into this pot with her, it's going to make my spidey sense go off just a little bit. It is Guy, though.
I don't know about Spidey sense, Joe, but he looks a little bit like Lex Luthor. Makes the call.
This is a pretty wet board for just one pair. Take a look at the turn and see what sorts of draws come in.
10 of clubs. Carrie makes it straight.
Gutter ball. Carrie's hand is improved, but it's not the nuts.
Guy checks.
Even though it's not the nuts, Carrie's only behind to one hand, and I think maybe Guy would have 3-bet pre-flop if he had ace-king, so I think betting here is totally fine.
There we go. Loose cannon action.
Loose cannon bets 11,100.
I like Carrie's bet. She's very likely to have the best hand. He hasn't called or folded just yet, which worries me a little bit. Typically when folks are on a draw, they'll call pretty quickly. Carrie should be getting a little bit more credit as an amateur for actually having a hand. He's a billionaire who just had to add on 100,000. It's possible he's considering a frustration call. Cirque du Soleil, more like Tank du Soleil.
I raise.
He's gonna raise it.
I'm all in.
All in.
Yikes. All right, well, these guys know Carrie hasn't been afraid to get money in there, but this is the first time she's been put to the test for all of her chips. He is just ratcheting things up a notch and has put Carrie in a heck of a spot.
Got me covered, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
By about double.
I think sometimes Guy will turn up in this spot with ace-king, but not often enough to fold. The problem is that Carrie's hand isn't behind very often, but it's not ahead very often either. I think a king is a big part of Guy's range here, but suited kings are a possibility as well, so he could be free-rolling hearts or clubs. It looks like an easy call to make, but if Carrie calls and she's wrong or he somehow runs her down, it's over for her. At the moment, she's being asked to risk 100K for what will most often only be half this pot.
I mean, I'm not really sure how I can put my hand down unless I can pitch on ace king. Call.
Burchell calls.
Call.
Gulp.
And you with king 10.
Guy flopped it, Carrie ran him down on the turn. It's a chop.
How many times you guys want to run?
The river won't matter. It's a chalk pot regardless.
I hope if he busted her, he would have at least hooked her up with some seeds he could steer.
Hi, Sam.
Thank you, same to you.
Needed king 10 of hearts.
Thought you were calling for half the pot.
Carrie, can you breathe again?
Yes. Definitely.
Flop the straight.
Just needs to have 2 clubs or 2 hearts. Just like,
Nice having you here. Waiting for the action.
So after some self-talk, Carrie made the right move. And when we return, Bob Bulgaris lets us pick apart his poker brain. We'll explain when we get back. Breathe, Carrie, breathe. Welcome back to Las Vegas and the big game alongside Joe Stapleton. I'm Scott Huff. Earlier this evening, Bob Bulgaris played a huge pot for over 100 grand. What was he thinking? Find out as we take you behind the poker face.
So at this point, I think I was winning around 40,000 on the day, which is like, I mean, it's nice to be winning, but it's not really going to change the way I play in any way. Also at this point, I'm on the button in this hand, which is key because it's the loose cannon's big blind. So if there's two people on the table I'm kind of going out of my way to play pots with, it's definitely a loose cannon and maybe also Guy, although whatever, who knows. So I have 3-6 of spades, which is not a great hand, obviously. But I've noticed a couple other times earlier in the session, Guy was just kind of giving up on flops. So I feel like if he checks, I can just bet and just take down the pot there. If I raise, I'm raising with a really garbage hand to begin with, and I have no idea what he has, but I feel I can get more information on the flop anyways. So I call, Eugene folds, the loose cannon calls, which is like perfect for me. The flop comes 6, 6, 7 rainbow, loose cannon checks, Guy leads out for 3,000, and my thoughts here, I don't really just want to call because I'm trying to build a pot. I'm pretty sure obviously I have the best hand. I also want to kind of gauge what type of hand he has. If he has a 6, I'm just like a better 6, I'm just going broke. I'm not folding to him in that flop ever in a million years. So I just put in like a little bit of a raise just to kind of see where he's at. Loose cannon folds. Now Guy decides to like make it 19,000, which I'm not really sure what that means. I think in his mind, he's thinking I have to have like a really big hand, like a 6 or pocket 7s to really continue with the hand. And he's never putting me on a 6 just because me and Guy have a lot of history of playing games. The thing about Guy is he's got a lot of history playing games with me that are a lot higher stakes. And I definitely play a lot different in those games than I would play in this game. I feel like if I raise him here, he's going to fold all his bad hands. And I might get the action from like the 2 aces and the 2 kings and the other stuff. But I feel like I'm going to get that action on the turn anyways. But I like to get like one more street of information. So I call. So the turn comes to 5. He checked. And so now I feel like for sure he's got absolutely nothing. So I've checked. Of course, the river's a 4, which is a card I really don't want to see. It gives me a straight, but it actually makes my hand a lot worse, I feel, obviously, because I have like the 8 out of the straight on a paired board. And he bets 30,000. Folding was never an option, so I called the river. He turns over ace-5, which was good news to me because he didn't have 2 8s and I had the winning hand. Against his range of hands, maybe I probably could have played it a little bit different on the flop, and maybe I could put like a little bet on the turn, have him like spaz out. But of course, that's with perfect information.
Had ace-5 there for a pair of 5s. Not good enough.
Badoogie is the short hard low hand, right?
Badoogie, yeah, you have to have one of each two.
Carrie, if you manage to walk away this week with a profit and afterwards Jason Mercier offers to teach you Badoogie, run.
Duhamel, ace, king of diamonds. Raises to 1,400 like a champ.
Ha!
Mercier folds.
I see what you did.
Valverde. Jack of hearts. Makes the call. Bob Bulgaris, pocket 8s. And you know what I always say, Joe? Never trust a guy in a hoodie with a pocket square.
You've literally never said that.
He picks the call. Folds over the cannon, 5-4. She lets it go.
We stand on guard for thee, calling all Canadians to the flop. Of course, no one has the Canadian hand, which is A.
5 Jack 4 rainbow. Cannon would have had 2 pair.
In fact, I'm going to call the rest of the hand with a Canadian accent.
Please don't.
Oh, brother, Carrie would have flopped 2 pair. Duhamel's got ace king high. Sometimes that'll be the best hand with this buddy.
Duhamel, not check wing, that's 3,500.
Yeah, but he does have the best hand.
Calls 3,500. Are you really doing the whole hand like this?
Bob's a sorry Canadian. He lives in Hollywood. Sell out.
That was your best oat yet.
Duhamel's all like, what are you looking at me for, eh? And with a bet and a call out there, this can't be looking too good for Bob.
That's the universal language of folding. So now it's heads up between the 2 Canadians. This is how most hockey fights start. 7 of hearts on the turn. Duhamel with another checkbook.
He's picked up a flush draw as well, so my guess is he'll probably try to start betting this.
He doesn't even have to. Duhamel folds. Little Canadian telepathy.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's enough. So Guy takes that one down, and it looks like Duhamel used up all his run good in the main event. And Joe, it looks like you used up all your goodwill with Canadians.
Sorry.
We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Las Vegas and the big game where there's almost $1 million in cash up for grabs on the table. Action will start on our loose cannon, Carrie Burchell,
Who, by the way, is a baller.
you mentioned. She looks down at King 10. A hand she probably never wanted to see again. Raises to 1700. Queen Jack offsuit. Mommel makes the call.
Not supposed to hide your big chips.
Not everyone has big chips, Jason.
Jason folds.
Call.
He calls. 9 deuce for Bob. He folds. Gene? Didn't even realize he was here anymore.
Carrie's got solid equity in this three-way pot.
Flop, trade Jack 4, couple of spades, top pair for the champ, Hummel.
Cannon missed.
27.
She bets 2,700 anyway.
Never been one to be stopped by missing a flop. She's always good for a C-bet. Unfortunately, it ain't gonna work this time. Almost got top pair.
And I think he kind of has it out for the cannon.
And Jason, I'll take a bottle of water if you're going.
These two just can't seem to stay out of each other's way. Hummel raises to 6,300. He folds.
This should be a pretty easy fold for Carrie with only king high, no spade, and only backdoor straight draws. And again, if she 3-bets the pants off him, he'd probably lay it down.
But she doesn't. And Hummel drags a 15K pot.
You could tell Carrie just hates laying hands down.
Pick on someone your own side there, Jonathan. Picking on the loose cannon like that.
She's picking on me.
I'm not picking on you.
She saw you on TV. You're the mark at the table.
Well, he may not be the mark at the table, but Carrie might have noticed some things about how he's been playing. Duhamel's been a little tighter pre-flop than most of the table, and statistically, Carrie's C-bet on that last hand was a big favorite to take the pot down against Jonathan. He's folded his C-bets more than anyone else so far this week. Duhamel keeps folding his C-bets. I expect the rest of the table to eventually take notice and capitalize. I mean, come on, the guy's a world champion. Let's get off his back.
And Jason Mercier's returned to the table without Joe's water. Queen 10.
I'm parched.
Raises to 1,200. He folds. Bob with Queen 4. Lets it go. Kachalov out. Queen Jack for the cannon.
Big suited connectors.
Makes the call. Hummel out.
Deja vu.
Didn't he just say that?
To the flop. 7-5-7, 2 spades.
I'm gonna check.
Carrie checks quickly.
Jason the aggressor and in position.
C-bets 1,900.
Boy, this would be an awfully loose float.
She calls.
See if she has a plan.
Turn. 6 of spades. Checks again.
Will Mercier keep bullying the amateur? I'm sorry, attempt to keep bullying the amateur?
Looks like he will. He bets 5,800.
Now, if Carrie were in fact floating and trying to take it away in a later streak, this would be a prime spot to do it. However, the loose cannons who don't fold in this spot are few and far between.
Raises to 13,000. Jason insta-folds.
And Carrie is what, Scott?
Baller.
Nice hand, Carrie.
I would ask you to show me a bluff, but it's impossible if you're not that listen.
Even when you win the pot, you still get ripped. You still try to prove how better he is than you. You don't win the exactly a lot. You beat me, but I know exactly what. But you couldn't do anything.
There's no way I could win anyways. You have to have the best hand.
Yeah, it wasn't because you knew how to play poker. That's like living in Jason versus shoes for a little while.
I got on here by accident.
What happens when you win a couple tournaments and you're like 22 or 23? Walk around. Yeah, you won, but it was clearly because God favors you. Not because you know how to play. Congratulations for being the chosen one.
I'm sorry.
Carrie did technically have the best hand, but it was still baller.
Well, the chosen one is one of our 2 winners so far. Carries up 26 times while Bob is killing the game for 87 grand.
Everyone else is down. Mercier for 7,200, Kachalov for 13 grand, and Duhamel for over 35,000.
And our big loser so far, billionaire Guy Laliverte, but somehow I think he's not too worried about being stuck.
Carrie, 2 nights down. You're playing with some of the best players in the world. How you feeling?
I'm actually feeling great. I'm having a great time. I have a great table, so
and I'm not down. Are you nervous at all? No. You don't look nervous at all. Guy, you're bringing lots of action to the table.
Well, I'm here to play and gamble. And
We assumed you would.
And I'm doing it.
All right, guys, that's it for tonight. I'm Amanda Leatherman saying goodbye for now. And remember, if you've got the cash and the guts, there's always a seat open at the big game. Good night.
The Bob and Kerry Show, playing at least a two-night engagement in Vegas. Will they go dark? Find out tomorrow. For Stapes, this is Huff saying, Shippin'!
We are going to call you Action D. Is that all right?
Action geek. Whatever.
He said, whatever.
Whatever.
You should have said, you know what she should have said when she said, do you create a lot of action? She said,
Hey.
listen, I've been in space, okay? I've been in space. What do you want from me?
Hey. Hey.
Yeah.
Are you going to get...
Don't put your hands on my again like that. I'm gonna call security. I know. I just did my hair.
The preceding program was sponsored by PokerStars.com. The following program is sponsored by PokerStars.com. This week on the big game, billionaire circus tycoon Guy Laliberte took on high-stakes regular Bob Bulgaris. And with over 40K in the pot, he made it another 30 grand at the end.
Just 2 chips? Is that all it is?
But with just the low end of a straight and a scary board, Bob didn't flinch.
Alright.
He scooped the pot and steadied his nerves.
Put that pressure on me every time.
And it's been non-stop action for loose cannon Kerry Burchell. He's made big bluffs.
That is a little too much. Darn, I'm gonna fold.
And bigger calls.
Wow.
I think that sends a message a little bit, right?
She's picking on me, I think.
Picking on you? She saw you on TV. You're the mark at the table.
Can this cannon keep making all the right moves? Find out tonight on the big game.
Oh, hey, buddy, what's going on?
This is Stars.com big game.
Hello and welcome to the big game from Las Vegas, Nevada. Alongside Joe Stapleton, I'm Scott Huff. And tonight there's almost $1 million in cash on the table as some of the toughest players in the world have come to battle here in our state-of-the-art poker room.
2010 main event winner Jonathan Duhamel is stuck with smiling, realizing he can never again complain about anything, ever.
Guy Laliberte is stuck 58 grand, but he's the billionaire creator of Cirque du Soleil, so he's probably not on tilt.
Bob Bulgaris is an experienced high-stakes cash game player. He's talked a good game and played one as well, up the most, 87K.
There'll be no sleep for Brooklyn's Eugene Kachalov. He's down 13 dimes so far.
And this is our loose cannon Kerry Burchell, who's overcome a childhood congenital heart defect and shown plenty of heart so far this week. She's used to playing hold'em at $1, $2 stakes, but you'd never know it. She's up 26 dimes.
Our final player is 24-year-old poker phenom Jason Mercier. He's down about 7 grand, and right now he's with Amanda Leatherman.
Jason, you seem to be having a lot of fun out there this week. Is this your type of action game?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the guys I'm playing against, they're a ton of fun. You know, I really like Bob and Eugene, and you know, I recently met Jonathan. He's a really nice guy, and he is, you know, a really nice guy, and he's gambling a bit. So, I mean, it's an awesome game, and I'm enjoying it.
All right, what do you think of the loose cannon's play so far?
She's playing really well. You know, she's not afraid to make a big call, so I don't think she wants to be bluffed. So, yeah, you're going to have to make a hand if you're going to try to bomb it in on her.
All right, we'll watch out for her.
Thanks.
Here's another look at the loose cannon rules. Each cannon is staked $100,000 to play. They keep all winnings above the initial $100K, and the loose cannon who's won the most money at season's end earns a North American Poker Tour passport worth $50,000.
Right now, the leading loose cannon to beat is Italian Massimiliano Martinez. He set the bar high at over 163K. Kerry does beat him. I'm sure the show will immediately be canceled in Italy. But Kerry isn't the only amateur at the table today. He's the guy who became a billionaire creating Cirque du Soleil. Decided to learn poker in Bobby's room at Bellagio. It's the first time he's played poker on TV since 2008.
Did they teach him to raise with King 4 at Bellagio? Because that's what he just did to 1400. Bob is out, Kachalov calls.
Under the gun, yes, specifically. That's what he learned there.
Burchell folds. Duhamel makes the call out of the small blind, and Jason Mercier's in with the ace-4.
Funny how little respect an under-the-gun raise gets when it's coming from a billionaire.
Flop, 9-4, deuce, couple of hearts. Mercier with middle pair and the nut flush draw. Duhamel checks.
My guess is Jason may want to start building a pot.
Looks like he guessed right. He bets 2,600.
He's got middle pair as well, but he's dominated.
He was the pre-flop aggressor. Looks like he's just calling here over to Eugene.
Really not a horrible flop for 2-5s, but a bet and a call in front of him.
He kicks them in. Duhamel's out.
Mercier the slight favorite, Guy the slight underdog.
To the turn, 7 of diamonds, no help to Guy.
Missed both players.
Jason checks.
Slowing down now.
Looks like Guy might be speeding up. Bets out 6,200 with his pair.
He might think Jason's given up. No shot, he folds.
Jason makes the call.
The king of clubs was folded. The king of hearts will make Jason this flush. Guy's down to 1 out.
And there it is, the king of diamonds. Guy makes 2 pair. Mercier checks.
Cirque du Soleil's newest show, value.
And Guy bets out 17-7.
This could be a long tank again.
Oh, here we go.
He's even got water prepared this time. Now some of you might be going, what tank? You've got a pair of 4s, let him go. Jason made a good call in the turn, and if he's made a read that Guy's got a bad 4 that he turned into a bluff, he'd be somewhat right. It's also possible that Jason thinks Guy may have made a good read himself, putting Jason on hearts and is just barreling because the heart didn't hit.
17-7.
I feel like this is what it was like watching Einstein work through the theory of relativity. I'm still so blessed sitting here with Jason as he's like figuring out what's going on.
Funny as that is, Bob, Jason's in a hand right now.
It's like being with a master.
Figure out what I can beat, now I'm figuring out what you have. Or what I think you have, if you're not bluffing. Value range, bluff range.
Poker humor. It's the nuts.
Value range, king 9, 9-7. Set somehow.
I like it better when you're figuring out what you could beat. It's more exciting to me.
Beat 3-5 and like ace-5.
3-5 is the stuff to beat.
Yeah.
That's low.
Yeah. Worst hand possible. Beat all missed heart draws as long as you don't have a king in there.
So cute, Jason's doing his impression of Daniel Negreanu. If you care at all about being good at poker, it's pretty amazing to watch these guys do this, like a nature show.
I think Guy's got a trank gun under the table.
By the way, Tony G's having a heart attack right now.
Yeah, I know.
He'd be going insane.
And Mercier's gonna let it go.
You're the one who got bust.
What?
What?
You got a flush draw?
Yeah. Oh, me? I didn't have flush raise 4 hearts, yeah. Good fold?
I think, yeah. I draw all on you.
You drew out? Oh, you had a king high flush draw?
No, I had 2 pairs with kings.
Oh, okay, okay.
King 4.
King 4.
Suited.
So as Guy takes down the first hand of the night, let's go over the rules of the big game. Each table lasts exactly 150 hands. The action pre-flop is pot limit. It becomes no limit after the flop. Blinds are 2 and 400 with a $100 ante, all of which is paid by the player on the button. And every player begins with at least 100,000 but can rebuy for up to 500K.
The big rule change this season is that our loose cannon cannot come back after they've played the week's 150 hands.
And King 7 on clubs. I always dunk, you know. I like that dunk.
Bob's talking about leading into the aggressor or to joke about firing barrels.
Lucky it wasn't a 4. 4 would be a good card for you.
Action will start on Bob. Ace tray. Let's it go. Eugene out. Loose cannon Carrie Burchell, 8-7 of clubs.
A fine hand to play in late position, but she's going to want to come in raising.
She does. Raises to 1,700. Duhamel, a couple of 4s on the button.
Duhamel in late est position.
And he will just call. Mercier out. E with the trade deuce. Let's it go.
Statistically, these two are racing if they see all 5 cards, but Carrie's out of position, and if she catches a pair, it'll be tough to tell it's the best hand.
9, 10, 5 on the flop, couple of spades. Rochelle is up and down. Duhamel's pair still good. And the cannon checks.
I think the cannon probably should have bet there. We know he may have called for just one bet, but there's a chance he wouldn't, and she can start building a pot in case her card hits.
Duhamel fires 2,300.
Carrie's also now giving up the lead.
And she'll make the call. These two have just not been able to stay out of each other's way this week. Turn. King of spades. No help to either player. Rochelle checks.
Board gets worse looking for 2 4s, though technically Duhamel picked up more equity with his spade draw.
Duhamel will check. To the river. 10 of diamonds.
Duhamel did give up the betting lead on the last street, but Carrie leading out here might look strange to Jonathan.
She's missed everything, but still fires out 6,200.
I think she just gave him a stroke. This bet might look weird, but Duhamel can't even beat bottom pair on board.
He'll let it go. Carrie pulls off another bluff. She'll drag a pot worth 15,400 and add to her profit.
Interior, Jerry, Elaine, Kramer, and George are all sitting in the coffee shop. Speaking of, Carrie's been a real master of her domain, getting all kinds of credit.
The action will start on Carrie here. Cannon. 8-4. Chucks it in. Duhamel out. Jason Mercier with the 8-5. Why not put in a raise to 1,200? And he quickly calls with the king-queen.
I heart king-queen. It's the nut connector. Don't laugh. And it makes a great top pair.
King-3 for Bob. He's out. 10-9 for Eugene. Repops it to 4,600. Jason quickly out.
44 more? 34 more. Okay, that's it. That's it, fuck. I like my button.
Always a showman.
He makes the call.
No, maybe I was starting to regret. Thought it was 33, 34. The price was not ready to pay.
Flop ace, ace-7, rainbow.
Eugene's trying to play a bigger pot with a quote-unquote amateur. Let's see how big he wants to get with the 2 aces out there.
Eugene checks.
He does have the best hand, the nothing, if you will.
And he checks. Jack of diamonds on the turn.
He picks up a gut shot, as does Eugene. Eugene has one of Guy's blockers.
Eugene fires out 5,600.
Looks like Eugene might not think Guy would check an ace on that flop. Now, before everyone goes calling Guy a dog for thinking about making this call, hands are usually polarized when there's 2 aces on board, so if Eugene's bluffing, which he is, then Guy would be ahead, which he is. And if Eugene does have an ace, Guy still has gut shot outs.
He makes the call.
Nice read by the billionaire.
So we'll see a river. Tray of spades, and that was such a brick you could hear it. Catch a lot of checks.
Check. Yeah, no, whoa. Yeah, just as a question. Check.
Check as a question.
Sorry. I was betting.
You said you got it, so he's probably going to win if you bet. You can bet 500. I haven't worked through the hand yet, but Jason has.
And after an odd little moment, he will take down the pot, shows the king-queen.
I was beating you, right? Was ahead?
You were. Quick, you got it.
See, king-queen wins even when it's the nothing.
That's right, king-queen takes the money, and Palo Verde got Kachalov. We're just getting started. There's plenty more action when we return here on the Big Game. Welcome back to Las Vegas and the Big Game, where amateur Carrie Burchell has been staked $100 grand to play against the table of seasoned vets.
Never play any poker tournaments?
I think we throw big ones, just small local.
Action will start here on Bob Bulgaris.
Bob's still not convinced Carrie's an amateur.
He's down at Jack Deuce of diamonds. To go. Kachalov, trade deuce of clubs. Raises to 1,200. King Queen for the cannon, shuffle the deck.
King Queen is poker's original power couple, like Brangelina. Maybe we can call it Keen or Quing.
Well, she's calling it a 3-bet, makes it 4,300. Duhamel quickly out. King 10 of diamonds for Mercier. He folds. Valverde, ace 9 of clubs in the big blind. He makes the call.
Eugene was raising Guy's big blind. Now he's got 2 amateurs for the price of 1.
Makes the call.
I mean amateurs in the literal sense, not figuratively like amateur hour. They've both been playing very well.
So we'll have 3-way action to the flop. 8, 10, 6, couple of hearts. Guy flops a gut shot, and his ace high still good so far. Checks.
Should check around to the 3-better.
Looks like it does over to Burchell.
What's it gonna be now, loose cannon? Give up because you missed?
Not likely, Joe.
Burchell, more like bombshell because she knows how to bomb it.
Makes it 11,100.
Guy actually had less when he floated the last flop with King Queen.
Can be tough to bluff a billionaire. She does, and Kachalov out.
Carrie takes it down with Queen.
That's right, her C-bet gets Laliberte and Kachalov to go away quietly, and although the quiet Kachalov doesn't say much himself, everyone in the poker community can't stop talking about this talented pro.
Eugene has taken the poker world by storm the last few years. He just keeps getting better.
I think that he plays the game the right way. I think that he has a lot of talent.
Eugene is clearly one of the best unknown poker players in the world. Eugene is well respected by everyone, not just for his tournament prowess, but he's also a cash game winner. But he's really the real deal in every aspect.
To have great players talk so highly of me, it kind of confirms all my thoughts that, you know, maybe I'm doing something right. Makes me feel like I'm actually succeeding in poker and makes me want to continue. I expect things like this to come and, like, you know, TV shows and other types of offers to come as I get better and as I get more results. So I guess the more you win, the more recognized you'll be. I'm gonna add money.
Great, Eugene's adding on another 100K. Now he can pull the move I pitched him.
What?
Well, you know I was born in Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
Well, I told him his catchphrase should be, I'm gonna make it Ukraine here. You know, like make it rain.
Yeah, I got it.
That's exactly what he said.
Action will start here on Carrie Burchell with 6 Trey. Folds. Duhamel, 7-5. He's out. Jason Mercier, 8 deuce of spades. Bumps it to 1,200.
Getting loose in the cutoff.
D on the button with ace queen. That looks like a 3-bet to 4,300.
He's punishing Jason's loose cutoff range.
Bomb folds to jack 6 over to Eugene. King queen, I'm asking for a setup.
Queen again, suited this time. I heart King Queen suited even more. It's a hand so good it's like getting 3 cards.
Eugene agrees, makes the call. Mercier out.
Unfortunately, right now, Queen is dominated.
So it's Guy and Eugene to the flop again. Ace, 8-3, couple of clubs. Eugene flops a flush draw and checks it.
Top pair versus nut flush draw, yes.
He fires 7,600.
Well, Eugene certainly isn't folding, and he might even be considering a raise. If Guy's actually ahead, which he is, Eugene's got a lot of equity. If Guy's bluffing, the king-queen high could be the best hand. He knows Guy doesn't necessarily have to have an ace to bet this flop, but he did 3-bet pre-flop, so that narrows his range quite a bit.
Kachalov just calls.
Queen never loses, by the way, Scott.
Turn. King of diamonds, now Kachalov with a pair. Checks.
Eugene's caught up a bit, but still isn't beating an ace. Guy should be able to bet this again.
Check.
But he checks it.
He is pot controlling in a spot that doesn't really need it. Pretty unlikely that king changed anything.
4 of spades on the end, no flush for Eugene.
Guess Guy's check will maybe convince Eugene it's safe to bet now.
He does.
Call.
And is insta-called.
Guy did make some money, but I think in the end Eugene got off easier than if Guy had bet the turn. Who knows, though?
Guy will drag an almost $50,000 pot.
You know, it's like ace, king, whatever.
Not sure what Guy's mumbling about, but he's probably thrilled he beat king queen. He's never supposed to lose. Queen.
Couldn't let that one go, huh? Couldn't help but chase.
So Guy gets richer, which seems totally unfair, as he pips Kachalov's king-queen. Eugene with lots of time to try to get it back when the big game returns right after this. Welcome back to Las Vegas and the big game. There's over $1 million up for grabs on that felt as we cue the mood lighting.
Ooh, I like the light blue.
Thanks, Bob.
Very nice.
Thanks again, Bob.
Keep this one. Yeah, it does. I feel safe.
It's like they're playing on C-Lab. I keep expecting a dolphin to swim by one of those panels.
Duhamel raises to 1,400 with a couple of 10s.
Jason's been riding the bench for a while. Looks like he's ready to get back in the game.
5-3 maybe.
It's a suited connector, Scott. Don't scoff.
Not scoffing. It's your job to judge. Raises to 4,300.
I was ready to play with you, Jonathan, but somebody got in and trashed the party.
La Liberté folds, as does Bob Bulgaris.
It's not a nice way to treat a guy just because you don't like the way he pronounces his last name.
Folds over to the cannon, who lets it go. Now it's back on Duhamel.
Well, he's definitely not folding.
He'll make the call.
Jason's a big dog, but he's got position.
And these two have won over $14 million combined in tournaments. 6-3-4 pair and a straight draw for Mercier.
From big dog to coin flip, that's the Jason Mercier story. No, literally, it should be the subtitle to his biography.
Duhamel checks.
Great spot for a C-bet. If Duhamel had air, Jason would likely win it here, but as it stands, if Jason bets, when he gets called, he'll have more than half the equity in this pot.
Mercier bets 5,100.
I said when Duhamel calls a second ago because I doubt we're going to see Jonathan fold for one bet in a 3-bet pot with no overcards on board.
You are correct, sir. He makes the call.
Jason, the champ is eyeballing you.
Turn 5 of clubs, 2 pair for Jason Mercier.
Jason Mercier runs good.
Duhamel checks.
Jason shouldn't be too afraid of the 4 cards straight out there, but it does leave Duhamel with some counterfeit and chop outs, so Jason will probably want to bet here.
Wants to and does. Makes it 11,200 to go.
At this point, Duhamel laying it down gets a lot more reasonable. The board is pretty ugly, and he's likely to face another big bet on the river.
Duhamel lays it down.
Probably weren't expecting me to bet there, huh?
Yes and no. Good fold.
So Mercier wins a medium-sized pot by being the luckiest guy ever.
Jason takes it down, and as we can see, he's scooped almost a quarter of the pot so far this week, but Mercier is still down 12 grand. Everyone else's stats are very close, within 4 percentage points of each other. I'm particularly impressed with our loose cannon Carrie Burchell, who has won her fair share of the pots at 16%. She's now sitting pretty in more ways than one, currently up over 39 grand and playing as good as anyone else on the felt.
Action will start on Jason Mercier with William and Kate.
Well, they are making the rounds like it's the royal wedding, but actually, Scott, they're a duke and duchess, not a king and a queen.
Mercier raises to 1,200.
With Quing.
Bob Bulgaris, Jack 6. Folds. 9-5. Catch a lob out. Cannon with 7-4. Makes the call.
Yikes, 7-4 offsuit, out of position. Misclick?
5 deuces of spades for Duhamel. And he makes the call.
Right after I got done singing Carrie's praises, too. Woof.
6 king 10, couple of spades. Top pair for Mercier, Duhamel with a flush draw.
Told you, king queen makes a great top pair.
Burchell checks. Duhamel checks.
Checks his baby flush draw. No reason for Mercier not to bet this. He can start value betting right now.
He will. $2,600 worth.
Maybe Carrie's call was a pre-flop float, but this would be a bad time for her to try to make a move.
And she doesn't. Lets it go.
Duhamel and Mercier again. I'd expect Jonathan would want to take one off here.
Looks like you're right, Joe. He makes the call.
Mercier, get over yourself. It's Mercier.
Turn. Tray of diamonds.
Duhamel picks up a gut shot draw as well.
Checks it.
Mercier should be able to bet this again to keep Jonathan paying the draw. He'll come around to it eventually.
No quick decisions this week from Mercier. There's no exception, but he does fire out 7,100.
This is a big bet, and even though he's picked up gut shot outs, Jonathan is not getting a great price to draw. A check raise could sometimes work in this spot as a way to just take it down or give himself a better price. Jason's given him a little better than 2-1, and as you can see, he's a 3-1 dog.
Duhamel makes the call. So he'll pay to draw. River, 5 of clubs.
This is probably the worst card possible for Duhamel, since it might get him to commit money to the losing hand.
Takes it again.
None of this should be too scary for Jason. Only 2-4 and 7-4 came in. Didn't Carey fold 7-4 on the flop? Ooh, too soon. Anyways, I'm not sure how much Duhamel will call off, if anything, but hey, that's Jason's job to decide, not mine. I just get to criticize him after.
Last chance for value here from Jason. Bets 18,700.
If we take this all the way back to the flop, Jason raised from pretty early position and he's been betting the whole way. This would indicate strength, but it's also possible Jason would play a missed flush draw the same way. Just so happens that Jason probably has near the bottom, if not the bottom, of his range for value betting hands in this spot. Duhamel's never beating a value bet, but he is beating all Jason's bluffs.
And he seems to be having some trouble giving this one up.
Where is the scuba gear? Because Duhamel is in the tank. He's stuck pretty big today, and you can tell that he's just second, third, and fourth guessing himself. Fifth guessing. Sixth guessing.
Duhamel makes the call, finds out he's not a hero. Mercier is going to take it down.
It's not so much Mercier as it is Quing.
And Mercier is going to drag a pot worth $61,000.
It's only because somehow Mercier didn't win the main event, so now the poker gods are finding a way to get him some of that money. And like all good main event champions, Jonathan Duhamel giving back to the poker community.
I hate you. What? I hate you.
Folks, hate is a strong word, but then again, that was a strong river bet from Jason Mercier. We'll be right back with more big game after this.
I hate you.
Welcome back to Las Vegas and the big game, where Bob Bulgaris is our big winner so far, thanks mainly to that big hand where he flopped trips and river to straight against Guy last night. Our loose cannon is up over 37 grand, and Jason Mercier is up almost 18K.
Everyone else at the table is in the hole. Billionaire Guy La Liberté is down just 14K, while Eugene Kachalov has quietly dropped 50 large, and Duhamel just added on another 50K because he's now stuck 80 dimes.
Alongside Joe Stapleton, I'm Scott Huff. We've seen roughly half the hands this week, and now it's time to check the stats and break down the numbers. Joey?
Sure thing, Scott. First up is our loose cannon, Carey, who's been playing like she belongs in the Rain Man suite. In fact, if you compare some of Carey's key numbers against the average of the other 5 nosebleeders at the table, you'll see what I mean. Her VPIP is just below the combined table average at 31%. Carey is calling pre-flop raises 28% of the time, which is exactly the average of the remaining 5 players. And though the rest of the table has seen a flop 29% of the time, Rochelle is just slightly behind at 26%. Those are some pretty big numbers for a loose cannon.
Well, Joe, Carey doesn't seem to be intimidated at all by the players or by the high stakes.
She fits right in, Scott. In fact, if you removed her name from the top of her stat sheet, you may think she's just another pro. Now let's take a look at how aggressive this entire table has been playing after the flop. The majority of the table is in the same ballpark. Eugene Kachalov is the second most aggressive at 3.7, but what clearly stands out is that Jason Mercier is leading the pack with a 6.7 aggro factor. Jason is dominating the table in free betting. His VPIP shows us that he's playing nearly half the hands dealt, and his aggressive style has led him to win nearly a quarter of the total pots. Though in tournaments, he usually wins about 97%.
Well, Jason really has asserted himself as the table captain throughout this week. But Joe, what's with the 300-pound gorilla in the 4 seed?
I have no idea what that means, but Guy La Liberté is just your typical French-Canadian street performer turned billionaire space tourist action junkie. Action junkie, yes. Aggression junkie, no. Despite having the second highest VPIP at 38%, Guy is only raising pre-flop 15% of the time and retreating to passive play post-flop with the 5th lowest aggro factor of 1.4.
Well, it can't always be clowns and tight ropes.
Oh, the Zoomanity.
Zoomanity's the sexy one, right, Joe?
Erotic, I believe is the word.
Actual starter Duhamel, 6 tray. Folds. Mercier, queen 5 of spades. He'll raise it, makes it 1,200.
That might look a little loose, but it's the cannon's big blind he's raising.
La Liberté out. Long look for Vulgaris with 5-4. Folds. And Eugene quickly out. Don't worry, the cannon will call. 10-8 of diamonds for Burchell.
That's a little bit of a loose defend.
Flop, queen, tray, 6, 2 hearts. Mercier with top pair again. Burchell checks. And Mercier checks.
Very sneaky.
10 of spades on the turn. Burchell with a pair. Checks again.
Good check.
Mercier fires 2,200.
This was a bad turn card for Carrie. She may think she has the best hand, but it would be pretty out of character for her to spaz out here.
And she doesn't. Makes the call.
Playing cautiously.
River, 5 of diamonds. Mercier has 2 pair now.
Carrie River's a flush draw. Looks like she's loading up for a bet.
5,400.
Now Carrie comes out firing, and I don't really know what this bet is trying to do. It's tough to get called by worse, tough to bluff out better, so I'm not really sure what it's supposed to do, but what it's very likely to do is induce a raise.
There it is, to 21,500.
Big raise. Carrie made a very thin call with 1 pair when Duhamel tried to bluff her earlier in this session. Jason could be remembering that now and hoping she'll do the same thing here. Looks like Carrie might be getting leveled into thinking that Jason's just pushing her around.
We wouldn't know, though. We don't get the benefit of her inner monologue like we do with Jason every time.
Not everyone can be a Negranu. Carrie bet less than half the pot on the river, which maybe she's starting to think Jason could have read as weak, and that he's just making a play. I think there's been enough clues that Jason's got a hand that Carrie should probably be able to get away from this. And at the moment, she's got less invested in this hand than the amount of this entire river bet. She calls her profit will be almost non-existent.
She calls.
Is it a call?
She's not gonna like that.
Brutal. I give Jason a hard time for running good, but the kid knows how to play as well.
So Mercier takes it down. Our loose cannon takes a $25,000 hit to her stack, but it says nice hand. Moves on like she's just playing 1-2, Joe.
Classy.
Mercier now up over $42,000, while our loose cannon Carrie Burchell is now up only $7 grand. Can she rebuild her stack? Find out when we return right after this. Welcome back to Las Vegas and the big game where amateur loose cannon Carrie Burchell just took a massive hit to the profit she had accumulated. We still have 72 hands left to play out in this week's 150-hand session.
She does still have a small profit, about 7K.
Action this time will start on the man who beat her out of that last spot, Jason Mercier. King 8, let's go. E, moves 9-6, folds, off Vulgaris. 8 tray, he's not interested either. Eugene catches off with King 3. On the button, raises to 1,200.
Crappy hand, but it wasn't an unopened button.
9-6 for the cannon. Calls.
That call is at best questionable. Carrie may be coming unglued.
10-7 of hearts for the 2010 main event champion, Jonathan Duhamel. Raises from the big line, 5,200, catch love out, and carry out.
At least she did throw good money after bad. The squeeze takes it down.
So 23-year-old Jonathan Duhamel takes down that little pot. Earlier tonight, he played a big pot against 24-year-old Jason Mercier. What were they both thinking? Find out. Here we go on the poker face.
At this point in the game, I'd been playing a lot of hands and kind of building up some momentum. Jason's been playing pretty aggressive, like well expected. I opened on the gun with King Queen off. Now he's under the gun and raised to 1,200. Everybody folded to the loose cannon, the small blind who calls. I look at my card, 5 deuce suited. Just figured out good hand, just to try to make a big buck with, and I got that position of the loose cannon. So I just called. The flop came King 10-6 with 2 spades. Carry check. At that point I thought about maybe like betting, like maybe hoping Jason raised me so I can trigger it. But I just figured out that he is gonna call most of the time and I'm gonna be like stuck in the turn. So I just checked. So I bet 2,600. You know, obviously trying to get value. I can possibly even get 3 straights if the board runs out good. Loose cannon full. At that point I thought about raising again, but I kind of felt that if he had the king,
or maybe even a 10. He's gonna call me there, so I'm gonna have to like bet pretty big on the turn and river to make a fold. So I just called there.
I'm pretty sure, I have the best hand like 90-something% of the time.
Third card is enough suit 3.
Which is a beautiful card, because now I can definitely go for 3 streets.
Now I gotta check because the way the hand was played out. So I check and he bets, a good bet.
I made a little bigger of a bet than I probably normally would, just because I felt like he was definitely going to call the turn and maybe call the river. So I bet 7,100.
At that point, I really didn't know what to do. He kind of knew I didn't have pocket pair because I would call a lot faster pre-flop. I kind of hesitated before. So I really think he kind of knows I want to have a set. So I called there.
And the river came off suit 5. It's such a great river card because, every draw missed, queen jack missed, all spades, any gut shot pretty much missed, and he checked again, and I decided I was going to bet, and I bet 18,700, just hoping to get called.
I really thought that with the kind of a king jack, king queen hand, he's going to check a lot of times. I kind of felt it was a semi-good time to make a kind of crank on the river, because I thought my hand could be good. It was like so many busted draws that he could have, and I kind of felt he's going to probably check back, kind of just a king and pair there. So I called it, but he turned a king queen for top pair queen kicker.
I think he called me pretty light, maybe with bottom pair, like a 6, but I'm not exactly sure what he had. The hand played out perfectly for me.
A hand worked out perfectly for Jason Mercer with the cameras rolling. Did we get it on tape? I don't want to say Jason Mercer runs good, but I'm pretty sure he can win the New York Marathon.
Gila Verte with Jack 10. Raises to 1,400. Bob Vulgaris with ace 10 spades.
Bob's been relatively inactive lately. A big suited ace should be enough to wake him up.
Makes the call. Catchlaw pitches it. Cannon with trade use.
I don't hate it on the button.
Carrie gets to see what everyone else is going to do before she has to act after the flop. She makes the call. Pommel out. Jason Mercer with queen 4 lets it go. 3 players to the flop.
None of whom would claim to be professional poker players, so technically Carrie has the most bracelets.
10, 8, 7 rainbow. Bob and Guy both with the top pair. Guy fires up 4,300.
Wastes no time betting it. Bob's also got that top pair, but he got Guy out kicked.
Just calls.
Carrie's got the nut low.
Rochelle will leave it to the 2 Canadians.
It's a Canadian mating call.
Turn 3 of clubs.
Changes nothing. He looking like he wants to fire at this again. He's got top pair as well as a gut shot.
And why should he playing $2.5 billion behind? He bet 8,100.
It's a pretty big bet, but the board didn't get any worse for Bob, so I don't see how he would fold now.
Bob makes the call.
He drawing awfully thin.
So we'll see a river. 7 of spades pairs with the board. He fires again, 16,000.
I just got value down big time, I think. Yep. Population 1.
Great school districts in Valley Town.
Population 1, I hate Value Town population.
And no traffic.
Yeah. Welcome to my world. I mean, what can you do with 16,000? You can do a lot with 16,000. You can go to like...
Not space for sure.
Not space. I think so.
Count that one out.
Scrap space. Yeah. I can maybe like change the oil to the Bugatti.
Bugatti's a $1.5 million car.
Barely. Barely.
He has 2 of them.
Alright, here's the oil change for you.
10.
Alright, good.
Bob wins.
Oh, yeah.
That's the sound of a Bugatti breaking down.
Mid-roll, yes, last roll. I mean, 60's that, huh? I can beat that hand.
Now Guy's Bugatti may go hungry.
Bob can keep it up. He'll be able to afford the oil change and a new air filter for the Bugatti. Can anyone stop Bob? Find out when we get back on the big game. Welcome back to Las Vegas and the big game. Cards are in the air.
Bonne digestion. What's that bonne suggestion?
Wow, thank God he wasn't saying bone suggestion. That would have been weird. And what the? King Queen again?
Of clubs for Vulgaris, raises 1400, catch a lot out.
Poker's original power couple, I call it Queen, suited.
Cannon folds to the Mamo with Queen 10. I guess that would be Quinn, Joe.
No, that's just dumb.
Thanks, partner. Mamo reaching for chips. Calls 1400. And he calls with Rex.
Very loose defend from Key. Must be a blackjack player.
Lucky he doesn't have to double down in this spot. Flop. 6 Jack 6. All the Verte jacks.
Over to Bob, who has the best hand. And also he has the best hand. See if he see bets.
He does, 2400.
Mamo's got nothing but a queen high and a backdoor straight draw.
Well, he's got a can-do Hummel attitude, makes the call.
Nice float.
While the Verte's out.
Doesn't do Hummel know he's up against Queen? He has no shot.
No, we're the only ones who can see the whole card. Show ace of diamonds on the turn.
Both pick up a gut shot, both have a blocker for the other.
King Queen, still the best hand, Joe.
Queen.
Bob is 5700. Almost done with it.
Bob was bluffing, but his nothing was better than Duhamel's nothing, so good full Jonathan. You know, I'm not really comfortable calling King Queen nothing. I mean, it's Queen.
And it was worth 15,000 to Bob on that hand without even having to pair it.
So Scott, King Queen or Queen takes out another pot, and here's what I can tell you about the history of Queen here in the big game. Since the very first hand dealt in Season 1, it appeared 173 times, and players go to war with it. King Queen has seen flop 73% of the time, and if we look at its combined success record pre-flop and post-flop, we learn that it's not a winning hand. What? With 84 wins to 89 losses, that can't be right. But here's where it gets fun. When it has lost, it's been for a lot less money than when it's won. So when it comes to the stat that counts the most, Queen is a profitable hand with almost $500,000 to its name here on the big game.
I feel like I'm watching a Game of Thrones. First shell. Pocket queens, all the single days.
That was cool. I want to do more of those.
Races to 1800.
Oh, now I want one with queens.
Mama folds. You get everything you want. I'm sure they'll do it. Ace 4 for Mercier.
Evion's just better for my voice. Jason's got position on the cannon.
Calls 1800.
He's got position on everyone.
That guy never stops smiling. Why should he? King 10 of diamonds. Calls 1800. Bob Vulgaris with the ace deuce.
Weak ace out of position. Action in front of him still.
Let's go. Jack 9 of clubs for Eugene Catchaloff. Makes the call.
And all you need to know is that joke was so good we couldn't air it on TV.
So we'll have four-way action to the flop. Trade 4.
Я думаю, пора закругляться.
Everyone else missed pretty hard. Still Carey should bet this.
Bet 6,600.
Jason does have top pair.
Let's go.
A little surprising. Carey is mad cred, yo.
He out. And Catchaloff folds. So Carey will get some back.
Carey came off a bunch tonight, making an incorrect hero call against Jason Mercier, but she got right back on the horse, and look at that, she's stacking chips again already.
So our loose cannon will finish the night with a profit of almost 12 grand. Bob Vulgaris continues on cruise control. He's up over 123K.
Mercier's up 40 times, while billionaire Lally Verde is down 46. Catchaloff can't seem to win a hand. He's stuck 50 large. And the main event champ is not doing well in our cash game. Duhamel's down over 78 grand.
All right, guys, that's it for the night. Carrie, you had a bit of a rough night. Are you still confident?
I'm still confident. Just a slight misstep.
Yeah?
Calculation, but I'm still up.
Not nervous. Still good.
Still good.
Jason, when are you and Bob going to go head-to-head? That's what I want to know.
What do you mean? He beats me every time I play a pot against him.
Well, you're up a little, but he's up more.
I know, he's killing me.
Am I dealing you too much?
No, that's fine. I can take it.
All right, guys, that's it for tonight. I'm Amanda Leatherman saying goodbye for now. And remember, if you've got the cash and the guts, there's always a seat open at the big game. Good night, everybody.
So Bob Vulgaris holds court another night on the big game while our cannon slightly wilts. See if she can spring to life tomorrow night. For Staves, this is Huff saying so long from Vegas.
What's up, Eugene?
I'm going.
Who? The loose cannon? Do you want to get something wrong with the loose cannon? I mean, like, not like that. You know what I
chips.
Is there a bounty on my chips? I wish.
The preceding program was sponsored by PokerStars.com.
Напоследок неплохо опнуло. Так, ну что, подведем итог. Так, 15 долларов. Так, где-то 1500 рук. Такая вязкая, конечно, игра по красной. Плоховато сыграл. Составы не очень легкие были.